We understand that this is a difficult time.
Okay, we are live here on LTL Podcast. I just broke from my regular scheduled programming. We have an active shooter situation in Lewiston, Maine. They are still looking for the subject. We'll go here to live breaking news.
Certainly something that has affected a lot of people. We know that there was a bowling league that was happening at Spare Time Recreation tonight. We have a sales manager who mentioned to us that one of our coworkers, her brother-in-law, was one of the victims. He's currently in surgery, so our thoughts and prayers to him and everyone involved in this. Now, there are some news stations that are reporting numbers, but at this point, we do not have anything confirmed in terms of how many people are injured or whether anyone has been killed here. But we do know from Lewiston Police that a number of people have been injured out of these active scenes. Again, we know Spare Time Recreation on Mollison Way. We know Schmenge's Bar and Grill on Lincoln Street, and we know of Walmart Distribution Center in Lewiston.
Right, and you know that area perhaps better than I do. It's a busy area. There's all sorts of different places like that to go, and a bowling alley, a place folks go after work at the end of the day to meet up with friends and enjoy themselves.
And we know, right down the street from there are a couple of restaurants. You've got Legends.
All right, this is local news.
And you've got Subway, and right across the street there was Seniors Plus, where a number of seniors were meeting. We talked to one woman.
Let's see if I can get an article here too in a second.
She spoke to Chris Costa on the phone a little bit earlier tonight. That was very much an active situation while he was on the phone with her. She was at Seniors Plus. Can we take some sound from Mary Ellen?
Yeah, everybody's here is fine. We're cold. We're worried. There's one very elderly woman who is doing the best she can. We're being told to leave right now. We're going to the Armory in Lewiston.
Okay. Are they telling you why? Just to find a safer place?
Okay. I have to listen to the police.
Okay.
Okay. You can call me back in 15 minutes if you want.
Okay. Thanks, Mary Ellen. Be safe.
I've dealt with one of these in 27 years, so please be patient. I know you want to get out of here. We're going to do what we can to get you out of here, but I got to protect everyone. Okay?
Wow, that is some really...
Listen, I want to thank all my subscribers, all the people on Twitter that were hitting me up, all the people on Instagram telling me of this situation. So if you're just coming into this, again, I just broke from my regular scheduled podcast to jump in here. We have an active shooter situation in Lewiston, Maine. Again, this is all very new to us. You're all able to read some reports. I'm going to pull up a report here in a second.
So then they were concerned that there could be a danger, and they had to sweep the building, requiring them to move them out. And that's when she was on the phone with us there, and police trying to handle that situation. And of course, they're trying to handle situations like that in multiple parts of the city tonight. We are expecting an update from state police.
Okay, let's do this. I have an article here. Let's pull this up and get the latest news, and we'll go back to that live coverage. So CNN reports at least 16 killed in Maine shooting. What we know so far, at least 16 people are dead in a multiple shooting in Lewiston, Maine, Wednesday night, according to multiple sources of law enforcement. There are multiple shooting scenes, authorities say, including a restaurant and a bowling alley in Lewiston. Maine State Police are asking residents to shelter in place as an active shooter situation is ongoing in Lewiston, which is about 36 miles north of Portland. At least 16 dead in Lewiston, Maine. At least 16 people are dead in multiple shootings in Lewiston, Maine, Wednesday night, according to multiple law enforcement. So at least 50 to 60 people are injured in the incident, though it is unclear how many are injured due to gunfire, the sources told CNN. Shootings took place at a restaurant and a bowling alley in Lewiston, police say. Goes in to say the Lewiston Police Department identified the business where the two active shooting incidents took place on Wednesday evening. The locations identified as, oh boy, I'm not gonna get this one. Schmiermange's Bar and Grill, and I probably have that wrong. I'm sorry. And Spare Time Recreation, police said in a Facebook post. If anybody can get me that Facebook link, that would be great. If you can drop the link, if one of my mods can drop me the link. Let's see, their website says Spare Time Records, a bowling alley. CNN reached out to both. They haven't heard back yet, obviously. Please stay off the roads and allow emergency responders to access the hospital. Medical center confirms response to mass casualty event. Central Maine Medical Center has confirmed they are reacting to the mass casualty shooting event. The center said that they are coordinating with area hospitals to take in patients. I'm trying to look at the chat too. There's photos of the suspect that are out there in his car. The FBI offers resources to Maine in active shooter situation. This was 19 minutes ago. Maine governor has been briefed in active shooter situation. That was 19 minutes ago. There's a quote from Janet Mills, the Maine governor, saying, "I'm aware and I have been briefed on the active shooter situation in Lewiston. I urge all people in the area to follow the direction of the state and local enforcement. I will continue to monitor the situation and remain in a close contact with public safety officials," the governor's statement reads. Another shooting reported at a Walmart distribution center, local newspaper says. Gee, I wonder if this person worked at this facility and started their unfortunate situation there at this distribution center. That kind of sounds like something that a disgruntled employee. As Maine authorities investigates 2 active shooter situations in Lewiston evening, Derek St. Laurent, Lewiston spokesperson, told the Sun Journal newspaper in Lewiston another shooting was reported at a Walmart distribution center on Alfred. Hang on a second. Let's see something pop up here. Let's see. I'm getting some. Okay, I have a photo here. Hang on one second. I'm going to try to download this and pull it up. Hang on. I got it. I have a photo of the alleged active shooter. Give me a second here. I'm going to pull that up. Thank you to one of my mods that got that over to me. I appreciate you. Hang on a second. I just need to insert the photo. Okay, I'm going to have that coming over in a second. The newspaper said law enforcement responded to Spare Time Recreation on Moleskin Way. So that's really the latest. Let's go back to the live feed. We'll go back to the live feed here on. And they just actually had a photo of the active shooter up. Let's rewind this.
With us. But that is all we have right.
Police.
In,
I just saw the active shooter.
Can
I want it. Oh, here we go. Here's a picture of the alleged active shooter.
Searching for this man, clearly caught on surveillance camera here in a parking lot. You can see a closer shot of his face here compared to that photo we were sharing earlier. He appears to have a large gun in his hands. If you know him, please give police
So
a
this
call.
person is still
Alex Haskell is standing by for us at Lewiston City Hall, where Alex, I hear we're supposed to get more information from state police in just a few moments.
Yeah, hey, Zach, we are waiting for a spokesperson to come over here and share a few more details with us. Last I heard, the spokesperson was
is still
at
wanted.
the Lewiston Police Department on their way here, so we should hear from them, see them anytime. I do want to share with you kind of what the scene was like as we approached Lewiston. We got an alert on our phone, and I want to read it to you. Our phones were buzzing, and we got this alert that said, an active shooter is located in Lewiston. Avoid the area and shelter in place immediately. Lewiston officials will follow up as the situation de-escalates. So this is what a lot of folks were seeing. And as we were also approaching Lewiston, I'll never forget it. We were crossing over a bridge into the city, and I just saw a gentleman who was probably out for a walk with his headphones, just sprinting into the city, and the fear on his face as
Thank
I
you,
imagine
mods.
he was
I'm getting your
hearing,
messages. Thank you.
the news and was going to safety. So
Thank
that
you.
is something that will stick with me. And then after that, there was, of course, multiple police cruisers passing us, ambulances. I believe my photographer also mentioned that he saw a SWAT vehicle. So just many officers in this area, and of course our thoughts are with them during this dangerous time, but we are here in City Hall and just waiting for the state police spokesperson to get here and hope.
I'm going to go out of this feed for a second. I want to show you a photo of the alleged active shooter. We're going to pull that up. This is from, and you are urged to contact, if you know this person, please contact the Lewiston Police at 513-30. 301. What phone number is that? I'm trying not to laugh in this situation. That's a weird phone number. 513-3001 extension 3327. That's, oh, all right. That makes sense because you know what it is? I'm so used to seeing the area code before it. If you have recognized this individual, this is the person they are currently looking for the active shooter situation in Lewiston, Maine. Please be safe. You're in and around that area. I'm going to post that up on my community page, and we'll get back to the live coverage here. Live news from Maine.
Police cars all around.
We'll get it
as soon as they speak to the media. We will have that live here on air and online. And as Amanda said, this has far-reaching impacts. So tonight, this isn't just impacting Lewiston. When something like this happens in Maine, it affects the entire state and communities surrounding Lewiston. We're also hearing agents from as far away as Boston. ATF agents are headed to Maine. State police, Androscoggin County, Lewiston police, other local police departments, all train for this. We have covered those stories where they train for every situation and how to respond to this situation, and they all jumped into action tonight, and they are at several scenes in the city of Lewiston tonight just trying to make sense of what happened. This video, you can just see the sheer number of people.
Yeah. And what's been most helpful to them through this investigation is having people stay where they are. Shelter in place is what they're calling it. They are calling this a manhunt. They're asking people.
So this guy is still on the loose.
Stay off the roads.
He's still on the loose.
Clear for them to move around and do what they need to do. They obviously have leads that they're following, and I'm sure they'll update us on that when we hear from them when they step into Lewiston City Hall to brief us. Now, you mentioned this affects the entire state. We heard from Governor Janet Mills a little bit earlier. She had released a statement, and she said in part that she is aware of and has been briefed on the active shooter situation in Lewiston. She said, I urge all people in the area to follow the—
Not to take away from this at all, but I'm just looking at Twitter right now. Idaho 4 hashtag is trending on Twitter. I'm going to try to get this information out there as well about what we're covering here. All right, I got that out on Twitter. Let's bring up the feed again.
And then about 4 miles from there, Schmeggy's Bar and Grill on Lincoln
Schmeggy's,
Street.
I'm sorry.
And as our reporter Jack Mulmid told us earlier tonight, they are at Walmart Distribution Center in Lewiston as well, all active scenes. And we do believe
Let's
that
go to
Jack
Flight Radar. I can pull that up as well.
I don't know if he's prepared to speak with us at all, or it looks like he's in the midst of talking with somebody now, so we'll give him a moment before we go back to him. But these are...
In the meantime, we really should, I know it's hard to look at, but pull up that photo of the shooter again for folks, because if you know who he is, police need you to give them a call tonight. They're looking for any information on this man who, as you can see here in this surveillance image, walked into spare time with a large gun and injured numerous people, and we're still working to learn those numbers. You may have seen on other national news outlets, numbers have been put out, but we have not independently received numbers. We want to make sure we get those numbers right for you. So we are waiting to hear from state police.
New Hampshire State Police does have a chopper up in the air in the Lewiston area
in a situation like this for you. So please stay with us.
I'll show you that feed really quick. We'll go to Flight Radar. I'll show you the path that is traveling right now. That's it right here. You can see. So they do have a New Hampshire State Police is assisting in this. What I want to do is, how do I zoom in? I forget. This is where they are now. If you can see, Lewiston is here. Interesting. So this is Flight Radar here. Trying to get into, I want the view, 3D view. Boom, that's what we want. Let's take a look. That's where they are. That's where they are right now. So we got New Hampshire State Police in the air assisting. Hang on, I'm getting communication coming through as well. Let's see. So I have someone that's in and around that area. I have allegedly the name of the subject. I'm not going to put that out there because it hasn't been confirmed, but one of my mods has given me a name. Local rumors are there are 2 shooters, and there may possibly be 2 shooters in this situation. 2 possible shooters in this situation. Right now, we only know of 1 confirmed. Let's go back to and again, I'm saying the 2 shooter situation is only a rumor. That is a local rumor. I'm not reporting that, but I'm just saying I'm reporting that it is a rumor. But the rumor is this could possibly be 2 people involved in this shooting. That is, I have someone that's in and around that area that is giving me the
Surgery. Take a
local.
break. You can slide off if you need to. It's very difficult for us to report this because this is our state. This is our home state. We love the people here, and we
Fox
know that
News
they're
is
having a very
reporting a
difficult
police
time
press
right now in the
conference
Lewiston
soon,
area.
but I'm going to stay with the
Again,
local
please, if
feed.
you are in that
I
area,
usually like
stay
to
where
use
you
the local
are,
feeds
lock
in
the
these
doors.
types
I
of
texted my aunt. She
situations.
lives in that area. I texted my aunt earlier tonight,
If
and
we
I said,
get that
please
local
shut the
feed,
lights
I
off,
will
lock the
pull up
doors,
the
just
police press
stay hidden.
conference.
Absolutely.
Stay out
Listen
of the
to
way.
police tonight. Please stay home. Please stay safe. We even had some colleagues here saying that they knew people who were at Spare Time, someone in surgery tonight, of course, many more.
3 different locations, yes.
Shooting.
3 different
And I want to
locations
reset
have
this
been
for you.
reported.
This is happening in Lewiston, in the area of Spare Time on Mollison Way, as well as at Schmegman's.
Thank you all for being here with this coverage.
Barn Grill, just 4 miles away from that. There are multiple scenes. News Center Maine's Jack Molmid is standing by now.
Right
And
now,
Jack Molmid,
active shooter,
changed
Lewiston
locations. Are you at Central Maine Medical Center now?
is trending on Twitter right now. It is trending on Twitter.
Correct.
Thankfully.
I am in front of Central Maine Medical Center, where it is very much an ongoing scene right now. There are dozens of families standing out here waiting to find out more information about what's going on, what happened here tonight here in Lewiston, where you guys have been reporting all night that there is an active shooter situation, and law enforcement, Maine State Police, Lewiston Police, different agencies from all over are looking for the suspect. And if you hear anything right now, though, we've heard 2 choppers come in just within the last couple minutes. And over my shoulder here right now, you could see where there is an ambulance set up. There are multiple beds out there. There are law enforcement.
Everybody's all over this in Twitter. Brian Enton's reporting an hour ago. JLR 25 minutes ago. Nerdy Addict reporting as well. Just looking at the Twitter feeds. Lots of updates on this. 12 minutes ago, updates. Says the Boston Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms responding to the scene now. They are sending everybody in to this mass shooter situation. This is big.
About her son's condition.
Terrible
event.
Can
only imagine.
Terrible.
It's just pure frustration here. There are people standing here just waiting to find out more information about really what happened here regarding those multiple injuries that we're hearing about. And since we driven by about an hour ago here at Central Maine Medical Center, there have been dozens upon dozens of people waiting outside. Across the street, there still are about a dozen ambulances there. And I don't know if you can see, but there's an ambulance driving by. So people still pouring in left and right here into Central Maine Medical Center, where it still very much is a shelter-in-place situation here in Lewiston. And if you could hear me, there's a helicopter right now that is landing right now, and it looks like stuff is happening right now.
This is
It
bad.
looks like people are leaving. If my photographer can turn the camera out to the main entrance of the hospital, you can see that there are people pouring around the main entrance. It looks like some kind of thing is happening. I'm not sure what happened. And then people are confused as to what's happening right now. We believe
So AP's reporting 10. I've heard 16. I've heard 30.
Inside. And if you could see to my right, if we could get past the sign right here, there is a law enforcement officer standing there on the side of the road,
Wow.
armed and ready.
Wow.
It seems that they're asking people to go inside right now, but for now we are here outside the Central Maine Medical Center, where it is very much more of an active scene. And as I said, this is still an active scene happening at the Schmenge's bar, where the police said that they're searching, along with the Walmart Distribution Center here in Lewiston, and along with the Spare Time Recreation Center. Those are all three areas that people are searching for at this time. And as I
could this be a disgruntled employee? Why would someone go to a Walmart distribution center? You know, why? Do you think this may be a disgruntled employee? So we have Executive Models, Automotive Society. Hey, man, good to see you in here. It says CNN reports 16 with 50 injured. Yeah, that's the report we just read, the article we just read. Is this a terrorist attack? What can this be?
Police that 22 people
Do we think there's a disgruntled employee
out of this? And Jack, just at Central Maine Medical Center, which is the trauma hospital in the area, and you know that they train for things like this, but you
far
can
am
never
I
be
from
prepared for
Lewiston?
something like this.
Absolutely. And Jack, you're still with us.
No, Amanda, you can.
Go ahead, yeah.
I am. Yes, hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't really illustrate that. 22 people dead. Is that what you heard from Lewiston Police, Amanda?
Yes, we just learned
22
that
people
from
now
NBC, who
reported
says they heard it from Lewiston Police.
dead, unfortunately.
So Jack,
that
horrible situation.
Yeah,
tough to hear for
Go
all
ahead,
of
Zach.
us in the state tonight. Of course, Jack, I want to stay with you just because you're on the ground there. There's a lot happening. We heard a helicopter above you just a bit ago. All of those folks gathered outside of Central Maine Medical Center. You spoke to one woman. What is the feeling like there from people that you're talking to on the ground tonight?
You know, you can't understate it as much. She said that this is one of the worst days for people, not only in Lewiston but statewide. And hearing upon that number of 22 people killed is what you said. That's unspeakable. That is not just Lewiston, not just Maine. That is the nation. And when speaking with Julie, you know, I think she put it well. Beyond the confusion of not knowing her son's condition, she said that she is, quote, pissed off over what's happening, why we hear about this. And now you're just saying 22 people. I think Julie spoke to it without even knowing that totality of human loss we're seeing here in Lewiston. She said that she's frustrated. She moved to Lewiston when she was 17 or 18 years old. And it's been several decades since. And she said that she's never pictured this happening. It's one thing to say you never picture this happening, but when you're really
Not sure yet,
it,
DM. We know
there's no other
that
word.
there was a bar that was attacked. We said there was an active shooter situation in the Walmart distribution center. I'm sure that this is 3 separate scenes. You can see a police officer just behind, a heavily armed police officer just behind this reporter. Looks like 2 behind there now. At this hospital, we saw some life flight come in, and then also a lot of people in and around the emergency room entrance. Very, very much so an active shooter situation. I believe that we're going to get a report from the state police soon, an update and briefing. But if you are in the Lewiston, Maine area, in and around the Lewiston, Maine area, we are urging you all to please shelter in place, stay inside. This is still currently an active shooter situation. There is 1 person that is confirmed to be involved. There are rumors of 2 people being involved in this active shooter situation. Again, I'm only confirming 1 person right now that is involved in this, but there are rumors in the local area that this possibly could be 2 people actively involved in this shooting. We'll go back here to the news live feed. Thank you all for being here on LTL. We like to try to get all this out in these situations so people know what's going on in and around their local community.
asking people in the area to shelter in place, stay inside. If you don't have to go anywhere tonight, do not. Multiple businesses in Lewiston and Auburn shut down. People asked to stay inside. We're going to pull up that picture again. Police are looking for this vehicle, this white car, and this man. This is the shooter that they are looking for, who appeared to walk into Spare Time in Lewiston tonight with a large weapon and open
I have
fire
not.
on. At this point, dozens of
This is
people.
the white car they just showed. Is that
We
the Subaru?
have yet to hear about how many more have been injured. So if you know who this man is, police say.
Again, we were just actually doing a stream just before this. The news broke. That's why we came over to this. So we're all really getting just getting the information as well too. Okay, we'll keep.
Police ask that you give them a call, reach out on Facebook, email, whatever you have to do.
I got it.
To get them the information they need tonight.
Yes, and we know these images are really, really difficult to see, especially in a community here in Maine. But very, very important that you look at this image and let police know if you do recognize that person or this vehicle. Obviously, something that has affected the entire state. We heard from Governor Janet Mills. We also had a statement from Senator Angus King tonight.
Yep, I got it. Thank you.
He said he is deeply sad for the city of Lewiston and all those worried about their family, friends, and neighbors. He's receiving regular updates. He awaits further details from authorities and will be headed.
Looks like an older gentleman, someone in their 40s.
Final vote is held tomorrow afternoon. He is also asking all Androscoggin County people to allow first responders to address the threat. Again, stay indoors and report suspicious behavior to the local authorities.
And we are also just getting into our newsroom a statement from Congressman Jared Golden, who, of course, is from Lewiston. He represents that district, District 2.
Does anybody have the scanner feed?
Reading, like all Mainers, I'm horrified by the events in Lewiston tonight. This is my hometown.
Do this.
All of us are looking to local law enforcement as they gain control of the situation and gather information. Our hearts break for those who are affected, and we encourage everyone to follow the directions of the authorities as they conduct their work. Again, that's Congressman Jared Golden there.
Primo, if you can drop that link for me, I appreciate it. You can drop it now. You're now a moderator. Thank you. Thank you for being here. If anybody doesn't know,
in this shooting, we know there was an active scene at Spare Time.
Not to, kind of break from this, but Primo actually was my first original. He was my first original co-host here on LTL. So I want to thank him for being in the chat tonight. And certainly, if you want to join the panel, I can drop the link for you, bud. I'm not sure what your situation is right now. If you want to come up and help out, it's all up to you, man. Invitation is always open to you. He says the scanner's been very quiet. Mary's got the link again. Primo, if you want to jump up, you're welcome to jump on. I know this is not like a happy situation, but completely up to you. The invitation is there. Let's do this. Thank you, Mary, for pulling that up. Let's look at it. I'm going to pull this up. Scanner's been very quiet. There's 20,000 people listening on that scanner right now. That scanner. Just going to bring that down. We're
not just talking about Spare Time, where folks were gathered tonight just for that after work bowling league,
right.
And to enjoy their time off. And there's also the restaurant 4 miles away. There's possibly other scenes that we have yet to hear about tonight. But again, please take a look at your screen. Police are looking for this man, the shooter who walked into Spare Time earlier this evening. And opened fire, allegedly. You can see him here. This is a closer look at his face. If you know who he is, even if you think you know who he is, I know this is tough to look at, but please give police a call. They're also asking if you recognize that car to give them a call as well.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday night in the Lewiston area. We know you mentioned a lot of people out for the bowling league. We know there were tons of people out with kids at restaurants, and many of those restaurants went into lockdown. We had kids who were, evacuated from their hockey rink, had to stop playing hockey. This is something that has affected a lot of people. And as you mentioned, the crowd of people out there outside of Central Maine Medical Center, just waiting for something, waiting to hear word from anyone about their loved one, whether they were injured, whether they were one of the 22 killed. Very, very scary situation for a lot of people. And I'm from the area. I know Congressman Jared Golden from the
Probably
area.
shaking them all
I've
up.
never seen a crowd gathered outside of the hospital like that.
Right. A lot of questions on their mind, just hoping for the best there. I believe we
Thank
have,
you, Bernadette. Appreciate you
some
being here.
sound
Thank
from,
you.
Whoever
Thanks for the
Jack spoke
membership.
to outside of
Appreciate
Central
you.
Maine Medical Center earlier. Let's
We're
take a
going to
listen
stay
to
with
that.
this feed until we get the latest news. We're going to stay. I'm not going anywhere. We'll be
we're
up.
cold. We're worried. There's one
Thank you.
very elderly woman who is doing the best she can. We're being told to leave right now. We're going to the armory in Lewiston.
Okay. Are they telling you why? Just to find a safer place?
I have
So Robert Card has been put out on the police scanner as a possible suspect. Robert Card is the person of interest right now. If anybody has any information on this, please call the Lewiston Police Department. Let's go back to the live feed.
Spoke with an hour and a half ago. She was at Seniors Plus, which was across the street from Spare Time Recreation. They were in a knitting group, and it was about 8 people, I believe she said, and the police came and said, stay where you are. But then once they figured out there was another door open, they asked everyone to evacuate. This is all what Mary Ellen told us, because they had to clear the building. They had to walk through and clear the building. And so you could hear in her voice the terror of what was going on, not knowing. They went to the woods, and then they were moved to the armory. And you can
I'm not going anywhere.
hear the stress in the officer's voice of, I get it. This is frustrating, but we're just trying to figure this all out.
Absolutely, and they aren't alone. It sounds like there are police from all over Maine, all over New England, even Boston ATF coming up to Lewiston tonight. We have seen some reporting that the president has been notified of this incident and is being updated. The governor, all of Maine's congressional delegation, keeping a close watch on this tonight as all of us try to process that number of at least 22 people killed.
Yeah, it's a huge number. It's a startling number, and the images that we've been showing you, we know they're very upsetting, but certainly relevant to the investigation right now of who police are looking for and the vehicle that they're looking for. We do know that we are going to hear more very
All right, I'm
soon.
just trying to get some more information.
Conference with, I believe, Lewiston Police and State Police and Androscoggin County there, and you mentioned Boston
Thank you,
ATF
Kelly.
on their way up to get involved in this investigation. We have Caroline LaCour out there right now, and I believe we'd like to toss things over to you. Caroline, where are you right now?
Hey, good evening, Amanda. I'm standing right in front of the emergency trauma center here at Maine Medical Center in Portland. Maine Medical Center is known as the emergency department and is Maine's only level 1 trauma center. The trauma center level 1 through level 5 refers to the resources available to care for a trauma patient. A level 1 trauma center can provide the highest level of care for a patient presenting after a traumatic injury. Trauma centers are evaluated and verified by the American College of Surgeons, ACS. To improve trauma care, the ACS will evaluate a faculty's preparedness, resources, policies, and quality improvement process. Verification by the ACS is valid for 3 years.
Okay, I have an update here from CNN. I'm just going to read from their article. This was updated 5 minutes ago. In a Facebook post, Lewiston police share an image of a vehicle they are looking for, which appears to be small white SUV with a front bumper believed to be painted black. Maine State Police confirmed to the CNN that the image is of the suspect's car. It is of the suspect's car. Earlier, state police also said they are responding to an active shooter situation in Lewiston. Please stay inside your home with the doors locked, state police said in a post on Facebook. If you see any suspicious activity or individuals, please call 911. The Sun Journal newspaper reported law enforcement responded to Spare Time Recreation, a bowling alley on Molson's Way. And I'm going to get that bar. I'm sorry, I get the bar wrong. Let's see. On Lewiston police shared information Information Officer Derek St. Laurent told the Sun Journal newspaper another shooting was reported at a Walmart distribution center on Alfred A. Porlow Parkway in Lewiston. It sounds like, doesn't this sound like a disgruntled employee? To me, it sounds like a disgruntled employee. Could it be? Lewiston is 36 miles north of Portland and is the second state's largest city. Officials in the nearby city of Auburn, Maine, also strongly urge residents to shelter in place due to ongoing active shooter situation, according to a post on X, formerly as Twitter. Just say X. Why do we keep saying this formerly as Twitter? Auburn is less than 2 miles from Lewiston. The FBI has offered personal resources to local authorities, the spokesperson from the Bureau of Boston's field office told CNN. Maine's Governor Janet Millis said Wednesday night she has been briefed on the situation. I urge all people in the area to follow the direction of state and local law enforcement. I will continue to monitor the situation and remain in close contact with public safety officials, the governor said on Facebook. The story is continuing to developing. That's the latest from CNN. Let's pull up the feed here again.
Stay inside and keep you and yourself and your family safe tonight. And if you see this man, please give police a call.
We spoke with St. Mary's Hospital. There are two hospitals in Lewiston there. There's St. Mary's and there's Central Maine Medical Center, CMMC, typically the trauma-centered hospital. But we just heard from Caroline saying that they're likely to see more of that trauma coming to Maine Medical Center in Portland because, I mean, we know both hospitals there in Lewiston are certainly not equipped to handle.
Right, and they prepare for this.
So I have
event. They are ready to respond. When
I have
taken from one hospital,
someone that watches my channel,
state, whether it be by life flight, whether it be,
and they literally said they are a block from the Maine Medical Center, and he said he can see the helipad from his chair, literally looking out the window. Incredible.
For people just gathering outside the door, waiting to hear news on their loved ones that we're assuming are inside. Jack, is there anything more you can tell us about that?
Well, Zach, from the last time we spoke, it has pretty much cleared out here from the main entrance of the hospital. As you can see to my left here, you can see that all that is standing there right now are two security guards that are still probably waiting to hear out more information as well, making sure that this place is secure. They were taking down names of people who were reportedly.
Sorry, I'm getting a lot of messages.
People who may have had family impacted by those 22 people that were killed here in Lewiston tonight. Now, a big thing to remember is that this is still very much an active shooter situation. We know that police are looking at Schmeggy's bar.
Schmeggy's, I keep saying it wrong. I'm sorry.
The bowling alley here in Lewiston, that is the Spare Time Recreation Center. And they're also looking at the Walmart distribution center. That is a warehouse here in Lewiston. That is not the Walmart store in Auburn. And this is still an ongoing active shooter situation that we are still constantly monitoring. Now, we were on the main road here earlier, but police did tell us that we need to get behind the main road here. So as you can see, I'm standing kind of in the ramp here that leads from the hospital out to the main road. They said that this was for safety reasons. And during the time in which we moved out here, we saw that those people that were naming off if any loved ones were impacted by this. And one of those people that did have a loved one impacted by, we ended up talking to her. Her name is Julie. She said she moved here to Lewiston at 17 or 18 years old. And you can't understate this enough. She really said that she told me, quote, "This is crazy." She said she's never seen anything like that. She said she's frustrated. She told me that her son was at Schmenggy's bar. She said that her ex-husband was actually at that bar at the same time.
So I'm getting a report
from
actually Primo himself saying his vehicle was found at a boat launch at 196 in Prostale Avenue on the scanner. Thank you so much for that update, Primo. Listen, man, if you're out there and you want to jump on and hang out, I can drop the link. I've dropped it. Be cool to see up here on the panel. 2 is always better than 1. It's up to you, man. Invitation is there. So we have an update again. I cannot confirm all this again. We are just putting out what we're hearing.
The hospital closest to where the shooting took place. For now, we'll toss it back to the anchors.
Live for us in Lewiston tonight. We want to bring you up to speed, obviously, of what's going on right now. Terror, quite frankly, in the second largest city in our state. A man armed with what appears to be a rifle opening fire tonight at a crowded bowling alley. NBC News reporting from Lewiston Police.
Amanda, again, we don't know. You know, that's the mystery in all these things. We don't know.
Right now.
Yeah, and obviously an active situation. And if you've been with us, you see
Daniel saying that his
literally gathering
ex-wife has a
real
restraining
time
order
as we are
against
all
him.
in a
Again,
full
we
working
can't
newsroom right
confirm.
now.
It has not been
Gathering
reported.
information in real time as you at home are working real time.
We're working on it.
This is one of the curses and blessings of social media and the internet is that everybody seemingly has information. It's our job to decipher what's real and what's not, and
Right.
then pass that along to you. So, we're learning on the fly here with you guys and just trying to keep you updated on what's going on. Obviously, the one thing that is clear is this is a tragic day for our state. There's no way around that.
So there's a local
This is going
rumor
to,
right
go
now
down in history and not
that's
the way
been
that we
put
want
out
it
by
to.
one of my sources, and they are saying, local rumor, New Hampshire State Police have him cornered somewhere in Lisbon, Maine. Let's go up to the flight radar and see if we have the let's see where the flight radar is. Maybe they have, oh, it is circling. It's circling in and around this area here. So where are we? Lisbon Falls. My source may be correct. My source may be correct. Suspect possibly cornered in Lisbon, Maine, or Lisbon Falls, Maine. Thank you, source. You can see the state police helicopter here circling this area. I'm getting more sources. Lisbon, Maine is where the boat launch is. Another source just came through. Lisbon, Maine is where the boat launch is. Makes sense. See? Look at this water, this river here. We have the state police chopper now circling up above in this area. Let's follow the route. Let's look at the 3D view. Here's your chopper. Seems like a big area. Hope they find him. So my sources say possibly cornered in and around this area. Lisbon, Maine is where the boat launch is. There is a boat launch. You can see it right there. In and around this river here. Thank you, Kathy. Try to do our best. I have really great sources. Right here we are. Let's go back out to the flight. I'm getting updates. Thank you, all my sources. Thank you for the updates. Let's see. My source says and thinks he's obviously a fisherman. Obviously a fisherman. No press conference yet. We'll continue to monitor the situation. Let me check Twitter. It is trending. We have now Maine trending on Twitter, and we have AR-15 now trending on Twitter. Those are the two hashtags related to this. We'll continue to watch the flight pattern here. I believe, and I strongly believe, they may have this active shooter cornered. It is a possibility. It seems like they are concentrating in and around this area. And they are circling in and around the waterway now. Let's look at the 3D view. Lisbon, right next to Lewiston. Yes. I have more from my sources. So to my source, I believe. Yep. I see it, source. Thank you. Keep those sources coming in. This is great. Thank you. Okay. So it looks like, again, they're concentrating in and around this area here. Let's check. All right. Nothing new. Nothing new. Let's back out and see where. Okay. They're continue to circle in this area. Seems to be the area of concern. You can see where the New Hampshire State Police chopper started. It was concentrated over Lewiston, and it shot out here into Lisbon, and they've been now in and around this area of this waterway, this river. State Police active in this area. Let me see if I have anything on the scanner feed. Of course, fucking commercial. 22,000 people listening on the scanner feed. Carrie, you're welcome. I saw that. Thank you. Thank you for being here. All right, I got the scanner is quiet. Scanner is quiet. All right, let's go to the live news feed.
Since we got here, and we've been hearing reports of this go on, and since this. We've been monitoring the situation, the active shooter situation, and again, I am here outside the Central Maine Medical Center, where just earlier, if the camera can pan a little bit to my left, see that this is where the main entrance is. Where earlier we saw dozens of people standing
I'm gonna
there,
step away and use the
giving their
restroom really quick.
information
I'll
to
be
the
right back.
hospital workers so that they can line them up to see if any loved ones from anybody standing out there would be impacted by this. Speaking of that impact from families, it's just it's unspeakable. I spoke with a mother. Her name is Julie. She said she moved here to Lewiston when she was 17 or 18 years old. It's been many decades since. She tells me her son was at Schmengi's bar when the shooting happened. She got the call, immediately called her ex-husband, who was also at the same bar. She said he left minutes prior to that shooting. She said that her son was transported here. She does not know the situation with her son right now. It's just a pure tragedy. She doesn't know if he's alive or dead, and I don't know if you could really illustrate how that feels for a mother at this point. And I'm sure Julie's not alone either. Those are just some of the stories that we are hearing at Central Maine Medical Center here. And again, it's been several hours now, and the suspect in the shooting is still on the loose. Lewiston Police, Maine State Police are telling everybody to stay inside, lock your doors, don't go outside, don't travel, stay on lockdown until they track down the suspect, the shooter in this instant, the shooting that claimed 22 lives here in Lewiston this evening. And that lockdown, that means stay inside, don't drive, lock your doors, and be on the lookout. We were on the main road here.
Androscoggin County officials have issued a county-wide shelter-in-place order. Please make sure your homes and vehicles are secured. Updates from officials will be forthcoming.
Just loss of life. It's unthinkable. 22 lives in Maine gone. this evening here in Lewiston. Implications here nationwide. And again, that suspect is still on the loose. And you're asked to contact the Androscoggin Sheriff's Center Police if you know anything about that. And I believe we've been running that photo of what we believe to be the suspected shooter there, along with some of the details of the vehicle he's driving. But for now, we've been live here at Central Maine Medical Center, just really trying to do our best to understand what's going on here in this tragedy this evening, guys.
Jack, if you can stay with us for a moment, you started your evening when you first got to Lewiston at Spare Time Recreation at the bowling alley, where we understand this unfolded. Can you describe to us what you saw there while you were talking? We saw some of the video of people running across the parking lot there. Can you describe what you saw when you got there tonight?
That's right, Brian. When we arrived to the Spare Time Recreation Center in Lewiston, that's the bowling alley, one of the 3 places police say that they are looking for that suspect. We were met by armed law enforcement telling us that we need to leave, telling us that that is very much an active situation. The entire 2 to 3 minutes that we were there, we did not see a single person that was not related to law enforcement in some way. I can't tell you I've ever seen that many law enforcement cars at one point in my life before. It was...
Okay, so just take a quick break. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the LTL podcast. We've been covering, we actually started my regular 8:30 stream. We were talking a little Chelsea Grimm. We were talking a little bit about Brian Koberger's hearing tomorrow. We started to get reports that there was an active shooter situation in Maine. I ended up breaking from my regular broadcast and went into this broadcast. So right now, there is an active shooter situation in Lewiston, Maine. The authorities and emergency alert systems just put out an alert for everybody to shelter in place. This is still a very active shooter situation. I'm going to show you the flight radar. We have a New Hampshire State Police helicopter that has been circling in and around this waterway or river in Lisbon, Maine. That is not far from where this active shooter situation took place in Lewiston. This seems to be the area of concentration right now. Could this possibly be a suspect that had a boat, had something set up for a boat to get in and out of this area as quick as possible? It seems that way. Again, active shooter situation in Lewiston area. There's been an alert put out in that area. We are praying for all of the people in the Lewiston, Maine area to be safe, shelter in place, do not leave your home. This shooter is still on the loose. There have been rumors of 2 shooters. I'm not saying that. Allegedly, there have been rumors of 2 shooters. I am not clear on that. No one is clear on that. We have not heard from the Maine State Police. We have not heard from the authorities yet. Hopefully, there will be a briefing. Excuse me. Hopefully, there will be a briefing soon. I want to thank everybody for joining us on this stream. We're trying to do our best to cover this situation in Lewiston, Maine. I'm sorry, Lewiston, Maine. I'm saying Lisbon because we're concentrating here on this area. I want to thank all my sources. I have a direct source that lives not far from where this situation is, and they are giving me updates as much as they can of local rumors that are happening at this time. Thank you all for being here on LTL Podcast. I will continue my coverage until we get some clear direction as to what is happening in this situation. Okay, I'm going to go back to the local news feed. We'll continue to monitor the chopper and all of the scanner feeds.
And we'll continue to receive updates. Not much information, but it's more than we had a few minutes ago. And the woman that Jack spoke with on camera about the fear and not knowing. And I mean, like we mentioned earlier, there were parent-teacher conferences.
Well, here's the thing, Crow. I just said to you that all the information that I put out is not confirmed. Do you need me to rewind? I'm saying there are rumors out there. I have put facts out there. What are the biggest facts? If you live in and around that area, I just told everybody to shelter in place. Stay home. Do not go out. There are multiple reports and sources being put out there right now. So don't say that I'm not reporting things that aren't true. I'm telling you what the locals are saying, what they're hearing in and around that area. I'm not confirming it. I haven't confirmed anything. All I'm confirming is what has been put out there so far. So please don't say that I'm putting stuff out there. I'm telling you what local, I have a friend that lives in that area right now that is a block from that hospital. He knows what people are talking about. If you don't like it, leave. If you don't like the coverage, leave. I'm telling you everything that's going on in that area, what people are hearing.
Now on your screen, this is the white Subaru that police say that shooter who's on your screen now was likely driving. A distinguishing feature of that vehicle is that the front bumper is black. The rest of the vehicle appears to be a white or a silver. And again, to emphasize, don't go looking for this. It's simply for you to be aware of what police are looking for right now. Otherwise, you are urged.
There's no fucking difference what I'm doing than anybody on a news station right now is reporting all over fucking Twitter. Everybody's got fucking rumors spinning out there. Everybody does this, and this is what I talked about. You know, make sure. I didn't say that I'm confirming everything. I'm just putting out what has been put out there, what people are talking about. I have a friend that lives in that local area that's a block from that hospital. He knows and is seeing everything that's going on. He hears everything that is going on. He's texting me right now. This is what's going on. This is what people are talking about. Holy shit. If you don't like it, you can leave.
Whatever you're believing and listening to and spreading and sharing, that it is, verified information. So to not
They're
cause
even
any more
saying
panic
it.
than
They
that's
don't
already
even know.
necessary. I mean, this is bad enough for what we actually do know. We don't need to make it worse with stuff that we're guessing about.
And, we've been talking, Jack had mentioned we've been on the air for about 2 hours with you now. This is one of those things that we have sat through many times before in other communities. And there's certainly a lot of chatter tonight on social media of, I can't believe it happened here. This is Maine. This is my home. This is my community. I know this building. I've bowled there.
Well, actually, that's the thing. Like tonight, it's a Wednesday night. It's an innocuous
I get
day in
mad
October.
Times, I care about this shit. I want people to know what's going on. If I have a rumor of a local that's literally at the medical hospital a block from there, and they're saying, this is what I'm hearing on the streets, it's not bad to get that information out there. But I haven't broke or said anything crazy. I'm not saying that there's 30 people running around with this and that and doing this and that. All I said was, we know that there is a confirmed one shooter. There's rumors that there could possibly be two. This happens in these situations. It happens. I just said rumor. Did you not hear me? I said rumor. The friggin' news doesn't even know yet. We haven't heard anything from police yet. We haven't heard from state police. This is all we can do right now.
Right behind me, I'm standing in front of the emergency center here at Maine Medical Center
Looks
in
like
Portland.
Chopper. I'm going to go back to the chopper. It looks like it's leaving the area and going back to Lewiston. It's interesting. Thank you. I appreciate all the support. I see the chat. I just get very frustrated in the situations. It's a terrible thing that's going on. Everybody's emotional. Everybody is emotional. Everybody's emotions are on heightened alert. I don't want any more people to get hurt, but if I can help and put something out there and help people, it's what I want to do here. Let's see. Okay. Someone in that local area that's very close to that local area has given me another photo of someone that could be a possible accomplice. I'm not going to put any of the names out there because it is not confirmed. I am not a law enforcement authority, but they are saying it looks like this is going back to that area in Lisbon. We're watching the state police chopper here in and around that area. The scanner is very active. course, we get the. But we'll stay here with the chopper. The chopper. We'll see what's going on. It looks like it's going back into that area around Lisbon Falls area here. We'll see what happens. So Maine is trending on Twitter. It's still trending. So it says 2 minutes ago, Nerdy Addict is saying made manhunt. Police have set up a perimeter near 196 in Forest Hill Ave in Lisbon. And that's basically where we are at this point. So they are just circling this perimeter. So something in and around this concentrated area here. I don't know. I don't know if JLR has. I mean, it's essentially it's just saying the same things that I am, you know. In this situation, I'm here for LTL. I'm sorry. JLR has his own stuff going on. I have my own stuff going on. You can name me as a source, bro. Yeah, so I just let you know, AZ, my channel moderator, lives a block from that hospital. That is my source. So he's a moderator. He is a friend of mine. I trust his sources 100%. So here's the deal. Says, I just heard from the local people, not confirmed, car found abandoned at boat ramp. That's probably why they're in and around this area here. I would assume that's why they've set up this search area. You can see here with the state police chopper. 24,000 people listening to the scanner feed right now. Thank you, Bernadette. I appreciate it. Trying to get the best information out there. So Wheel says Robert Carr is a registered SO and arrested for CP. Thank you. Appreciate you. Listen, you know, I'm sorry I got emotional. I got upset. You know, it's a heightened situation. Sometimes people say things, they get to you. It happens. You know, we're human beings. I'm trying to do the best we can here. I'm trying to give, you know, good relevant information with the sources that I have. I essentially have some boots on the ground. We want AZ to absolutely stay safe. I mean, he's very close to that situation. Look at this. Look at this helicopter right around with us. Look at this plane and the state police helicopter. You know, I'm on. I think of him right away. He's in that area. He's a friend of mine. We have many offline conversations. He's a good person, and I want him to be safe. And that's why I get a little emotional in that, because the first thought is my friend. I want him to be safe. All right, let's go back to the live feed and hear if we can see anything come up.
Reading things, talking to each other, talking to our field crew, and learning all of this live together. So
yeah, I know that, JD. Yeah, I know that. Thank you.
Once it's
that's why I haven't really
verify
shown
it's
any of
actually
them.
true.
I'm just
So
showing what the news
that's
is showing.
And
Thank
that's
you.
a tricky point in a situation like this. You know, Lee, you mentioned it earlier. Of
thank you, child.
It's easy
I
to see a
appreciate that.
post
Thank you.
on social media and believe it. And as journalists, that's
terrible.
our job to weed through that of what is accurate, where is the source, who is telling us that. So again, we're doing everything we can to confirm and double confirm and make sure the information we are getting to you
and it's
is
the same thing
accurate.
I'm trying to do here.
So just keep that in mind as you are seeing other information out there.
Thank you, Bella.
Maine State Police Commissioner is going to be talking eventually.
Okay, we're going to wait for that.
From Maine State Police, that will.
I will be
happen.
here. I'm
So
not
we're
going
keeping an eye
anywhere.
on that. We have a crew obviously there waiting.
I'm
for
not
some
going
official
anywhere.
Statement from Maine State Police about what's going on. Clearly, they're very busy right now. This is the person they're looking for. So press conference is probably not front of mind right now. Right now, front of mind is to find that person and capture him and give everybody a chance to take a breath, to know that at least that part of this nightmare is going to be over. There will be plenty of nightmare to come as we learn more details and they will be awful details, and we won't want to hear about them. But we will learn, and we will talk about it, and we will comfort each other, and we'll do what Mainers do. But first and foremost, this person has to be caught, and that's what all focuses are on right now, and that's what we're sitting here really waiting to happen, and hopefully it just happens sooner than later. So.
Just about 6 minutes ago, a statement from the FBI Boston division came out. They certainly are involved in this at this point, that they are making their resources available to state agencies as is needed. And really the clear message from obviously now the FBI out of Boston to our own local police, urging you.
I don't, here's the thing, listen,
report any and all suspicious acts.
I like JLR and everything, but I don't see any confirmed report right now that anybody has been arrested. So I wouldn't even go there with this. I mean, the local news feed, we're watching the live local news feed, they haven't even broken in and said anything. So let's just make sure that we're getting the correct information out there before we put that in there. Look, we're on LTL tonight. I'm not really too worried about what JLR is doing. I like him. I like his channel. We've had him on the channel. I'm not trying to disrespect him in any way at all. I enjoy his content, but we're here on LTL right now. We're here in LTL chat. So if you want to watch JLR, I would say go over and watch him, if that's what you want to do. We don't know. There's nothing confirmed here yet. Nothing confirmed. The local news hasn't even broken in. A state police person hasn't even broken in. We haven't heard anything on a scanner. So let's concentrate here. Let's make sure that we have the correct information.
To be sitting here talking to you guys about. Brian, between the two of us, we've
no disrespect. I
doing something like
respect
this
JRL
this is not
to hell and back,
I think either one
to heaven and back, however you want to put it.
Doing, two kids from Maine,
let's just make sure that we get it right. Right. We're here for LTL tonight.
But here we are tonight. And so again, you're looking at the images of the person police say is the gunman tonight. We've mentioned we have a number of crews in Lewiston and in Portland. A short time ago,
Tsunami reporting. Maine shooter has been arrested, known as Robert Carr. We'll wait for breaking news.
His perspective.
How y'all doing? I'm Jordan Sauter Francis. I'm with Lewiston Maine. What just happened?
Somebody was running with a gun.
Thank you, Crazy. Thank you.
So the cops had you all lay down. Guns drawn at you all? Yes. And they
I'm going to go to Twitter because usually Twitter's a little bit quicker with news.
He went in that building. Did they clear the building? No. All right. Thank you all. Jordan Sauter Francis here in Lewiston.
So again, you just saw some video from our Jordan Sauter Francis in Lewiston tonight. Those are, frankly, it's a little hard to believe that he is on the streets of our communities right now talking about what has unfolded tonight, and hearing from people who found themselves in the middle of this, being told to get down, and seeing police with weapons and other people running by them. But that's the reality tonight that we're up against.
As scary.
Now, again, I have a video. I'm seeing a video from JLR.
Is the information that they
saying Robert Carr arrested, Lewiston, Maine.
What's happening?
Right.
So
but no one has broken on news yet. No one. I haven't seen an article.
It's a massive search for information.
This video of the person that they're showing could be just someone they're checking out. I'm not sure. I'm not going to report it and say that this person's arrested yet.
People couldn't get in touch with each other, depending where they were locked down. And
he's the only person that's posted that video
in this day and age of communication to not have that. So.
And near one of these shooting scenes, near these spare time recreation bowling alley, is a Seniors Plus location.
Mass State Police has not even reported that the shooter has been arrested. So again, there are many falsehoods out there when things like this break. I don't see anything on a news report yet. The last is 7 minutes ago. It does not say that the shooter has been arrested. They haven't even broke from the news yet.
Arrived at spare time tonight. They were met
Nothing
by
has
armed
broken.
officers telling them to
So
simply get away. Don't even
hang out here a little bit. Let's bring our emotions down.
In those immediate moments, there was complete question about what was going on. At least at this point, we know that police have identified who they say is the gunman. We have seen those photos shared from what is presumably surveillance video from inside spare time. That's what it appears to be, of him walking in with what appears to be a weapon.
And the police, real quick, to get that out there. And again, I think you mentioned a little bit earlier, not for anybody to go out and look for this person. It's to really, if you're,
I'm
if
going to
you're
go to
staying in a
Brian
place,
Enton's feed.
which hopefully you are.
And again, this news
you know,
report
if you
still
happen to be out and you see this person, just stay away from this person.
hasn't
Stay away
broken
from
in
that.
live to say
Stay
we
away from this
have the
person,
shooter arrested. So
for obvious
I'm going
reasons.
to go and say it's
You know,
not confirmed yet.
Communities all across our
Brian
state
Enton
that
has
have
not even
anything to do
tweeted
with
about
Statewide
it.
County are reacting to all
So-
the news tonight with statements, and therefore, Gray New Gloucester, superintendent of schools, canceling school.
I'm
for
not going
Gray New
on
Gloucester
record
tomorrow.
that
Gray New
this
Gloucester
shooter is in
you know,
custody.
is not.
So let's wait
next
for
to
law
Lewiston.
enforcement.
So
They
Central
know.
Maine Community College, obviously, right there, is in Lewiston, and so this is what their
I mean,
campus looked like a little bit
this
earlier.
is a live local news feed. If he was arrested, we would have heard about it now. And this is what I mean. There's a lot of falsehoods that get put out there. And you know, that really shouldn't be put out there.
Situations, Brian, that thank goodness the schools
That's
are
what
trained
happens, I think, a lot in these situations is that everybody wants to be first. They always want to be first. They always want to be the one to break. And you know, you can go back and forth and say that you check sources, and you know, it's not right. Listen to the local news feeds. That's what I'm saying. If this was any breaking news, they would have broken right away. Or go with a trusted source. Hang on here. Okay. Rumor is the suspect's name is Robert Card. He's 44 years old, from Bodine Center, Maine. He was a sergeant in the Army, 20 years plus of military experience. Again, I cannot confirm that. But I'm going to say that as of right now, that possibly could be the person of interest.
And certainly, we imagine
Flight
any
radar is
injured
still up.
who needed medical attention right away.
I'm going to cut away from this live feed and go back to the police flight radar. It looks like it's moving out of that circulated area they were in. We'll just watch this for a second. Sean Hannity said someone is in custody. Let's look and see if there's a tweet. No tweet. Nothing breaking from the local news yet. Nothing breaking from the local news. I'm not confirming anybody being arrested as of right now. This still is an active shooter situation. If you are in and around the Lewiston, Maine area, you need to shelter in place. If you know anything about this situation in Lewiston, please contact the Maine State Police or the local authorities. Listen now. I'm heard to listen to the scanner now. If I can get to the scanner feed. Of course. All right, hang on here. Of course, we get a 25,000 people listening to the. He is not arrested. He is not arrested. Thank you for clearing that up. There is no arrest made. Please stop putting false information. All right, let's listen to this. We'll stay with the broadcast here for a moment. Jocelyn says LTL one of the first to break because jumped over here live from Brian's earlier streak on BK. Some major news sources just jumped on that probably while you froze. Yeah, I see the bolo. Thank you. That is not an arrest. That is not an arrest. There has been nothing confirmed on a local news source. There has not anything broken on local Maine news source. A state police has not broken in. I am checking their Twitter. Mass State Police has not said anything. Maine State Police has not said anything. So please, there is nothing on Twitter of an arrest on any verified Maine State Police. There is no indication of an arrest. So again, this is where people grab videos and they put videos out, and it's wrong. It's wrong. They're still not reporting anything. Again, listen, I respect
What we imagine will be some very helpful details.
JLR. I have nothing
when we
wrong
hear
with him.
from police about what they are.
Nothing bad to say about him. He's been on my show before. But Allison still saying major news network, CNN is not confirming an arrest either. I mean, we're watching the main local news. They would break. They're at a Lisbon address right now on the scanner. We'll bring that up. Yeah, we need to just stick to LTL material tonight. If JLR is your interest, I don't mind if you want to go watch him. Please go watch him if he's live streaming. But right now we're going to concentrate on LTL tonight. JLR has 100,000 subscribers. Let's hang on LTL tonight. Let's give the little guy a chance here. Thank you. Let's give the little guy a chance. Little guy's trying here. Hey, we might actually break 11,700 tonight. That'll be great. Appreciate everybody coming in here for hanging out with us tonight. If you're new to my podcast, we were doing a stream on Brian Koberger earlier, getting kind of a pre-game warm up to his date in court tomorrow, and we broke in with this news, this horrible news in Lewiston, Maine. We'll listen to scanner feed here for a little bit. Flight radar is still concentrated in and around that area that they've been. The state police is still up there. Yeah, but I like to we have a new sub. Thank you. New sub here. Thank you, Erica. Thanks for being here. If you live in Maine, you're in and around that area, please be safe. Thank you, Truth. I appreciate it. You know, we try to do the best. The little guy tries. The little guy tries. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, the little engine that could. That's really what we want to do here. We're getting a report from one of my sources. 347 Lisbon Street, loud bang at back of property, investigating. Yes, I did hear that on the scanner. Thank you. You see what the local news is saying. They're still at the hospital, and local news will continue to hang out here. Flight rate. All right, let's hang out here for a second. Oh, you're not able to hear it. Oh, that's not good. I can hear both channels on scanner. All right. Let's see. Can you hear the scanner now? It just talked. Can't hear it. Fuck. Local rumor, loud bang heard behind trailer in Libston. It's one of them. AZ just says you can't hear it. Fuck. I'm just going to pull away from the feed and go back to the news feed because no sense of sitting here with a blank screen. Let's see what they're saying here in the local area.
That gunman.
Yeah, Hannah Kumler is out in Lisbon right now at a boat launch.
All right,
where
let's hear
police have
this.
been spending a lot of time focusing on that area. Hannah, what's going on there?
At the boat launch. At the boat launch.
Hey, Lee. Yeah. Hey, Brian. We were at a boat launch, or I should say we attempted to go to the boat launch. Where I'm standing right now and where you can see police are gathered behind me, that is Frost Hill Avenue. It's on the corner of Lisbon Street, and this is the Route 196 junction for people who are familiar with this area. Down Frost Hill Avenue is the way you get to the boat launch. Me and Sam Rogers, who's with me right now behind the camera, attempted to go down and were turned around by police who are clearly have now blocked off the road. Just within the last probably 15 minutes, these cars have pulled up. They're blocking the road here. They're blocking the road across. If you look across this Easy Mart right here, that is Lisbon Street that is being blocked. The road beside Sam is being blocked. And right behind that, speaking of schools that are going to be impacted by this, is Lisbon High School. No word yet on what their plans are, but all of this is happening right here in the center of Lisbon Falls. You have the town of Lisbon police who are on scene here, sheriffs. We've seen ambulance, fire.
Bella, can you?
Speaking to Lee, what you said earlier,
someone
the response
post,
has been pretty
I'm not hearing
remarkable
anything
to
on the
see
scanner.
in the
Can
wake of
someone
this
post the
devastation.
scanner feed
So
for me?
not sure what's going on,
What
but
scanner
I
are
will say
you
that
listening
when
to?
we first got here, the first thing that Sam and I noticed was a helicopter in the sky. If it comes back by, we'll show you, but shining a light down. So clearly there is a large presence here, and we'll continue to keep you updated as we learn more. But I did want to just know, in terms of the response and in terms of what we've seen, we drove from Portland all the way down to Lisbon Falls, and along the way there were several police cars who were posted at exits or at the turnarounds of the highway, checking out vehicles that were passing by.
We're watching
So
LTL.
you hope you never have to use this training, but it seems that the
Yeah, he
response
doesn't need
was
any
quick, and
audience.
that
He's got
clearly it's very
200,000
heavy.
people on his
So,
channel. Let's get
like I said,
LTL
we are
up
here
tonight.
now. We are blocked in. This
My
kind
little
of happened
channel that
after we arrived.
never gets
So we'll
pushed into the
continue to keep you
algorithm.
posted just as we learn more and update you here from Lisbon Falls.
All right, Hannah Kumler live in Lisbon Falls, keeping an eye on what's happening there. Obviously, a huge police presence. So, for whatever reason, they think they need.
This is the issue that I have with StreamYard. I love StreamYard. I absolutely love it. But what happens is a lot of these other creators, they use like Restream or OBS. I fucking hate both of those. I wish, and I've said this a million times, I wish StreamYard would just put up the option for multiple media tabs. Give me a multimedia tab. I can literally have the flight radar up, the live feed from the news, and have the scanner feed right there as well. That's how they always have the advantage. I cannot figure out OBS. It's terrible. It always screws with my cameras. The sound is always weird. And Restream is just about as good as StreamYard. I just like StreamYard because it's ease of access. But I hate the fact that we can't put two media tabs up. It's very annoying. But we try to do the best we can with bouncing back and forth. Let's go back to the flight radar here. I'm going to pull off this live feed for a second. We'll go back up to the flight radar. Let's see. This is where that area of concentration is right now. You can see we started here in Lewiston. It came down here to Lisbon. And they are concentrating right here now. Jocelyn, thank you so much for being a member. Thank you so much for being a member. Oh, thank you, Goat. You got to be a helicopter's now circling 347 Libston. So we have that. Have that up. We'll watch the feed here for a second. If I can get the dang... Can someone email me the link to the scanner feed? It's Let's Talk Live Podcast at gmail.com. Let's Talk Live Podcast at gmail.com. Primo, can you do multiple media tabs in OBS? Like if I had, can I have the live feed, the radar, and then the scanner feed? Can I do that? Can someone please send me the scanner feed? Thank you. I got it. One of my mods did. Thank you. I'm going to play this. Let's do this.
NFL Week 1 seems like
of course.
Yesterday, but the countdown to February.
Freaking commercials. We'll wait. Yep, I got it. Thank you. In OBS, yes. That's probably what I'm going to have to ultimately end up switching to. I hate OBS. Cannot figure it out. Maybe Primo can give me a lesson sometime. Hey, we're almost going to hit 11,700 tonight. That'll be great. Be great if we hit 12,000 tonight. Thank you, Kat. I got that. Let's listen to the feed. I'm going to put it up to the mic here and see if we got anything. Let's see what we got. Let's see if we get anything. No, I was just switching back and forth, Barry. I'm pretty quick at it. I've learned this pretty good. Liza, don't worry, you grow. I know, it's just frustrating. You know, we want this channel to be big. I think we're doing great things here. And, you know, I love the feedback when people come in. They're very kind. We try to stick to, you know, the facts. Tara says, listen, I just want to say I love your channel and how relaxed it is. Don't worry about the people in the background. You got love from the real ones. Let's pray for Maine. Thank you. I appreciate that, Tara. I just want people to know I am so passionate about this channel. You don't understand. You don't understand. Crow, if you don't like it, dude, you can just leave. Goodbye. Well, you have a good night. You don't need to be here. Goodbye. You're gone. I am so passionate about this channel. People don't realize. You don't realize that my life.
Lisbon Call Center 101 on Statewide.
My life.
This is Roy from SPCAT. Gonna call you right now.
Thank you, Allison. I appreciate the 5. My life revolves around this channel. This is all I want to do. This is all I really care about. I go to work and I come home, and every living minute that I have is dedicated to this channel. 1,000%. I want this to be my career someday. I want this to be what I do for the rest of my life. And I've really been dedicated to this channel, like really put in the work for the last year. You know, it started out as kind of a hobby thing the first like year and a half. But this year, I really put a lot of concentration into this channel. And it's evolved so much. And there's so many great people that come in. There's so many great people that I talk to on a daily basis. And the feedback that we get, and the, you know, in the community, and the community that we've made here. And it's been great. And I want this to be my life. I want to be able to help people. It's ultimately what I want to do here. I just want to be able to help people. That's it. And then someday I want to have a studio where I can have people just come in and sit down and tell us their stories. You know, tell us what might have happened. Or do you have a family member that's missing that's not getting enough coverage? Or were you involved in a case where you were falsely, you know, accused or convicted? Or if there's something that we can do to help, you know, bastards against like child trafficking or anything like that. Anything that we can do to help domestic violence, abuse survivors, anything. You know, I'm open to anything. You know, I wanted my channel, and I always say this. Sorry. I always say this, like I've always looked up to the greatest podcaster in the world, Joe Rogan. All he does is just sit down and talk with people. That's what I want to do. I just want to know how did someone get from birth to the point that you are sitting across the table from me right now telling me your story? I want to know. I want to know all of that in between. Just tell me your story. All right, we're going to hear the scanner here. Thanks, Carrie. I appreciate it. God, the scanner's like...
Wi-Fi 4 is on final Central Maine Medical Center.
I never...
Wi-Fi 4 is on final at Central Maine.
You know, I've never claimed to be the best reporter. I've never claimed to be the best person with language or how I speak. For me, you're going to get someone that talks just, I don't know, from the street. You know, like if you want a first person, you know, an undereducated, just normal guy that has an interest in this type of stuff. That's what you're going to get with me. Black Eagle, I pray for your sister. You know, I just try to keep it real. You know, I say, I'll keep it real. Primo reporting. By the way, they're still waiting a press conference, but I think that will be delayed. I'm not seeing anything on the major news network here. We'll stay with the flight pattern. We'll hang here with the scanner feed. What I need to do is figure out, I was going to try to see if I could run like 2 stream yards where I could have like, I don't know. I'm going to try to figure this out, see if I can do it. But now I've always said this too, that this channel is a community effort. I listen to my subscribers. I listen to their guidance. You know, what do you want to see? What do you want to hear? Do you want me doing things like this? You know, and I'll be honest, like I never really thought that I would fall into kind of this true crime genre. I mean, I've always had a passion about it. You know, it goes back to, I love watching like the First 48, and you guys know my history with my best friend. And, you know, I've always been interested in like, I remember Rescue 911. I used to watch that all the time when I was a kid. And always, you can't even hear the feed. I used to love just like, you know, Knight Rider and Magnum PI and just all those shows, you know, those detective shows. I was always into that stuff when I was a kid. So, it's just a, you know, still circling that area.
Well, you're a little scratchy, but I can copy you overall.
Remember that? Yeah. JD says, hot damn, Rescue 911. I forgot that one. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Jocelyn said, you're in my spec when you weren't afraid to post the border crisis. Most content creators won't tough anything political. Yeah, you know, listen, won't touch anything political. Yeah, I put it all out there. I put it all out there. Let's go back to the news feed. Looks like some new stuff. Rosemary, thank you. Wow, this is loud and annoying. All right, listen. So my source is saying, AZ is saying 2 minutes ago, still at large, still at large, still at large. Let's pull up the sound here on the feed.
Microphone flags on it, and that's where this is
Oh,
live picture.
we're going to get a press conference
This is
soon.
where we anticipate hearing from state police at some point this evening. where hopefully we will have
Still at large.
some more information to share with you. Hopefully some good news about their search for this gunman tonight.
Large Marge, yes.
And I'm just checking some new information we just got as well.
Thank you, S.J. Howard. Thank you.
I mean, can we say that?
Oh,
That's from Lewiston Police on their Facebook page.
okay. Breaking news, possibly coming in. Hang on.
Okay.
Breaking
this
news.
is from Lewiston Police Department. The Maine Law Enforcement Bulletin. Maine State Police attempting to locate Robert Card.
Okay, it is
person of
confirmed.
interest regarding a mass shooting incident at Schmeggy's Bar and Grill and the Spare Time Recreation in Lewiston. Card is a trained firearms instructor believed to be in the Army Reserve.
It is
Station in
confirmed.
Osago.
Robert Card.
According to law enforcement, Card recently reported mental health issues, including hearing voices and threats to shoot up the National Guard base in Saco. He was also reported to have been committed to a mental health facility for 2 weeks in the summer of 2023. He's last known to be operating a white Subaru Outback with that black bumper with Maine license plates. Again, Robert Card, this is from Maine law enforcement, is who they're looking for. The picture right there on your screen, the same person who's been in the video that we've been showing you tonight with the same car that we've been showing you as well. And obviously, based on the information that was just given to us, certainly a very dangerous person. I think we've seen that tonight, and his background seems to warrant that as well. And this is the person that they're looking for. That's the card they're looking for. And again, his name officially identified by law enforcement
Robert
as
Card.
Robert Card, who is a Army Reserve
Confirmed.
station out of Saco. Yeah, we're gonna read the whole thing again, just so you guys can get that. Okay.
I wouldn't have that one. I would write down.
My source said,
Send it directly to.
I beat the local news.
Okay. So again,
to
we
it,
just
buddy.
got
You missed
information
it. Haha.
moments ago. We were just chatting with Chris Costa, our colleague.
AZ.
We just got information moments ago
Oh.
about the specific suspect. Police say they are looking for. His photo is on your screen right now. Robert Card is his name.
Is confirmed. Robert Card.
This is who this is focused around.
Is
tonight.
confirmed.
We've been looking at the photo of the car. They believe he was driving tonight, that white Subaru Outback with a black bumper. And now they are sharing this photo again
Excuse
from
me.
state police tonight, or from law enforcement tonight.
Carrie, thank you for the 5
about
gifted.
The person they are
Appreciate
looking
you.
for
Thank
at
you.
this hour.
Thank you.
So that's the one. If you go back to your teams.
Working to pull up that information again, the specific details. Please.
I'm going to say this, and I'm probably going to announce this.
The picture that we just showed you.
I'm going to announce this, and I know it's never really a good time to talk about this, but I may be updating my memberships here soon. I'm probably, I think I might just wait until the first of the year, and I think the $199 is going to go away, and it's going to get bumped up to a $299. But if you just got a membership, I just want to talk to you a little bit about this, and I know I hate talking about money during this stuff because it's, but I wanted to let you know. If you get a gifted membership, the way that works is you have access to members only streams. I usually do one after my nightly shows. It's for members only. Okay. And that will give you access to those streams where we kind of hang out just a little bit, let our hair down, not mine, of course, because I have none, but we let our hair down and just kind of relax a little bit, have a little bit more of a casual conversation. The gifted membership will allow you a month free to view that content. And I have other videos that you can go in and watch. So there's a ton of content there. All I ask of you, all I'm asking is this. When the membership is up and it's asking you to re-up, you can get back on a membership for $1.99. That's just a less than a cup of coffee. And that keeps this channel running because I do have bills to pay for this channel. My StreamYard costs money. I have electricity, etc. Cable. So it helps this channel. So please, if you get a gifted membership, all I ask you when it runs out, just click the membership, join again, just for $1.99. That's it. And I have the lowest memberships probably out of any true crime channel on YouTube. $1.99 to start. And then if you feel you want to contribute more, you can always bump it up. It's no problem. No pressure. All right, let's keep playing this.
And
Go
as
back
you
up
guys
to the
have
feed.
said, that man that is on the loose, police are saying to
You
look
can't
out for
buy
a
an
man named Robert
annual,
Card. You guys saw his photo there.
unfortunately. Carrie, thank you so much for the
And
5.
you've seen those
Very
photos.
sweet
He's
of you,
believed to be
Paige.
driving a
Drop
white
5 here and
Subaru
5
with a
here.
black bumper. He's around 40 years old. He should be considered armed and dangerous. Again, just a quick reminder for that. But to my left,
You can't buy an annual, but you can sign up and just keep doing that the month.
there. They have been standing there now for the
Want to
last
upgrade?
2
You can
hours,
upgrade. My next
making
level
sure
is
people can enter and
$2.99
leave
a month.
safely. You
Next
can only
level up
imagine,
goes
just
$4.99, so
imagine
on and
the
so on.
sensitivity
And my
and
top
the
tier is
shock
like
that
$50 a month.
parents and families are facing as they approach this hospital to understand more about the situation and how it may have impacted their loved one. Nurses, first responders, doctors that we've seen walking in and out of here have just been, it's hard to describe what's going on.
That's one thing that you never hear me do. I don't beg for super chats, and I may talk about my memberships once in a blue moon. That's it. But I do not beg for super chats. And Carrie is in here on every stream, and she can confirm that. And probably most of everybody in here can confirm. I never, ever, ever ask for super chats. I never. I'll talk about my memberships every now and then, but I don't talk super chats. I don't ask for money. If you want to donate money here, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. It's perfectly fine. Oh, let's play this.
And my son were playing pool, and next thing I know, I saw on Facebook that there was a shooting at Schmeggy's where they were playing.
Schmeggy's.
And then nobody would tell us anything. Just go to CMMC. His wife, his son, my ex-husband are here. Friends are here. We're all waiting, and we've heard nothing. They won't tell us if he's alive, if he's in critical condition, if he's passed. They won't tell us anything.
They told us that this is an active shooting. And while so many people, just like Julie, are just trying to understand the situation, us here are also trying to understand the gravity. It's hard to wrap your head around the pure human loss of life that.
Okay, Primo reporting. Suspect may have a night vision scope. Suspect may have a night vision scope. May have a night vision scope. So if you are in and around the Lisbon or Lewiston area, excuse me, in Maine, please shelter in place. Stay home. Do not go out. Stay home, please.
Live here in Lewiston outside Central Maine Medical Center. We'll toss it back to you, Zach, Amanda.
Jack Molman live outside of CMMC, as he
That's
just
it,
said.
Carrie.
And,
That's
he's
absolutely right.
talking
Thank
about
you.
how difficult this is for a lot of families. Thank you for sticking with us. I'm Amanda Hill. This is Zach Blanchard.
Yeah, an incredibly difficult night for our state and for the country. We are just receiving statements from Senator King and Susan Collins saying that they've been in touch with President Joe Biden, all about Lewiston, Maine. Getting the headline tonight.
Paula, thank you for the gifted. Thank you, Paula. Appreciate you.
In an active shooter situation. Folks just out for the night at a
It's
bar and
everybody's
grill in
gifting.
Lewiston,
Here we go.
Out for a bowling league after work.
Yeah. And if you are just joining us, this is where police have really focused their investigation at Spare Time
I'm gonna drop some
Recreation. That's a
memberships, too.
bowling alley in Lewiston. That's on Mollison Way.
5 coming your
Also at
way.
Schmeggy's
5
Bar
coming
and
your
Grill,
way.
which is on Lincoln Street.
Got
It's
another
about 4
5. There you
miles
go.
from Spare
5
Time
on
Recreation
the
there.
boss.
We have also been told
5
about
on the
some
boss.
police activity in Lisbon Falls. We have our Hannah Cumler there. She's been briefing
5
us
on the
on
boss.
some of the activity
Welcome new
there.
members.
But this
5
is
on the
who
boss.
police have been focusing on. He is 40 years old. Again, police are
5
asking
from the
people to
boss.
keep an eye out for him. If you do see him, obviously call your
5
local
from the
police
boss.
department and let them know. Do not approach him.
There
He
you
is
go.
considered
5 from
armed
the
and
boss.
dangerous.
So again, take a close look at
I
your
give out a
screen
lot of
there.
free memberships,
This
believe
is
me.
the man police
So I
are
always say,
looking
what
for.
creators
Robert
drop
Card,
memberships for
40
their
years
chat?
old.
None.
I
do it a
they say
lot.
he is the man who carried
I
out
give
the mass
back a
shooting at
lot.
Schmeggy's Bar and
All
Spare
right,
Time
we have
Recreation
officially
earlier this
reached
evening. Card is again
11,703 subscribers tonight. So we're getting close to that 12,000 mark. Thank you all so much for being part of the LTL experience. I appreciate you all. Thank you.
They are expected to hold a press conference in just moments, I believe. We have a shot of that, the podium there, getting ready to hear from state police as well as local.
What you can do to improve my platform, I will let you know. It's about being here if you can be here. If you can be here during the lives and interact with my lives, if you can interact on my videos. And I always say this, and I have a pretty wide audience here tonight, about 145 people. I think we're close to almost 200. I get it. People have to go to sleep. I understand. I'm going to be here for a while. The best thing that you can do is interact on my videos. If you can make the lives, come to the lives and interact. That interaction helps push this channel into the algorithm. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for memberships. I don't want any of that. I just want people to come here and interact on the channel. Be proactive on the on the channel. That's what helps this channel. If you want to share it to your Facebook, you want to share it through your Twitter, if you want to share it through your Instagram, please, that helps as well too. If you're on TikTok, put it out there. I would love it. If you can get it out on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. I don't have time for TikTok. I can barely manage 3 social media platforms, YouTube being the biggest. But I just ask you, please interact on my videos, watch them, comment, like. That is the best way to continue to push LTL. If you are not getting my notifications, I say this every night. You don't have to wait for a notification. Just come to my channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I stream almost every single night. So if you are not getting a notification, just come to the channel and look. Just come to the channel and look. You may see me streaming live. Come into that live chat and just hang out. Interact. Interact. That's how you'll make this channel grow. That's how you'll make this channel grow. Just be here. I do not know him. I know of him or her, but no, I don't know. But that is the best way you can get LTL to grow. And that's the honest truth. I just want people to come here for the lives. I want to just get as many live viewers as I can every single night. That's the most important thing. Because if the more eyeballs on my channel, the more people will watch and the more people will subscribe. And all I want to do is just keep expanding and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. All right, let's pull this up and see what's going on the local feed.
Talking about schools, one of the largest school districts in the state.
Thank you for asking. That was a great question.
Releasing a statement that they haven't decided whether or not to hold classes tomorrow, but they are awake right now. School leaders across the state really trying to make sense of this, making sure that students and families are supported as we're all trying to make sense of what happened in Lewiston tonight. Just to reiterate for you, at least 22 people killed in an active shooting in Lewiston. This is the man police are looking for. If you know who he is, if you've seen him, please give police a call. This is Robert Card. Police are considering him a person of interest in that shooting at Schmenge's Bar and Spare Time Recreation earlier this evening. They still have not been able to apprehend him. They're also looking for this white car here. They say there's a black bumper on the front. They're trying to locate Card, and they say he should be considered armed and dangerous. So if you happen to see this car, if you happen to see Card himself, do not approach. This image believed to be Card earlier this evening walking in to Spare Time Recreation. Definitely a hard security footage to watch there.
Very disturbing to see, but very important to see as well. And we know our Jack Molnett has been live outside of Central Maine Medical Center. We also have someone outside of Maine Medical Center in Portland, where they're expecting at least one patient, they told us, is going there. And just to put into perspective how much this is affecting our hospitals here, that they even said, out of an abundance of caution situation, and due to the dynamic nature of the situation, Maine Medical Center and other Maine Health hospitals have closed their campuses to non-hospital personnel and
Wow.
non-patients until further notice. So, people can't even go to visit loved ones who are in the hospital right now. This is very much affecting our, and we know our hospitals prepare for these things.
Absolutely.
We know our police prepare for these things, but this is such a widespread event that I don't think anyone can really be ready for this.
Absolutely, and I think we have that shot now of the podium in Lewiston City Hall. Our reporters and several other reporters from across the state have been kind of stationed
God, I have
there,
so many great.
awaiting a
I'm
press
gonna say I
conference.
have so many great, amazing people that are just reaching out now to help with this channel, and I want to publicly just say this tonight. I appreciate all of you have had some contact, some really close contact with, getting to know my moderators offline. I appreciate all of you and just some of the chatters that are in here that really want to help and support the channel. And I just want to say thank you, because I have some really great sources. Mary always sending me sources. Carrie's such a great supporter of mine. Behind the scenes, she's always she messages me every day, and she's like, "Look, you're doing such a great thing. Your channel is great." Just always gives me that confident boost. It's tough as a creator. We go through depression, and we go through down times, and we go through ups and downs, and it's tough sometimes, because we want to just be the best at what we do. And I have, Danielle always reaches out. I have all such great people. You know what we're going to do tonight? Paul is such a great supporter. Paul has been great lately. Let's welcome Paula to the moderator group as well, too. Paula just got moderator stat. She's always over here, and she's always helping out. Victorine is always messaging me. You're all great. I appreciate it. Molly Rose is always reaching out. I appreciate it. Paula just got a wrench. Paula, welcome to the moderator group. Thank you. All right, let's pull this up.
Their work.
Also, Congresswoman Shelley Pingree saying, "I am aware of and
Rogue.
have been briefed on the active shooter
Rogue's another
situation in
one.
Lewiston.
Another
I urge
person that
all
really
people
helps.
in the area to
Rogue,
follow the direction
moderator.
of state
Bang.
and local enforcement, which
There you
they
go.
have been
Rogue.
saying, please shelter in place, lock your
Moderator.
doors, stay off the roads, let them." Clearly, they've been very active
Now,
in
I just want to let you
Lewiston and in
know,
Lisbon Falls.
as a
So
moderator, I ultimately trust you on this channel and with my chat. So, you've gotten that privilege now. So I just gave 2 new moderators. Thank you.
Or you can see even inside the hospital, it looks like they're staging hospital beds in what appear to be hallways, just because this is such a
Welcome, new
large
moderator.
situation for them to respond to. Family members there just waiting to hear the news, communicating with what appears to be maybe hospital staff.
These are people that
going through perhaps
contact me on a daily basis and give me good, relevant information, or give me feedback and support me. And yeah, that gives the right to slap some strangers. They're people that feed me news or links, or say, have you heard this? Have you seen this? Here's something that might be of value to tonight's podcast. I just want to give you this. Have you seen it? So that's why these people deserve moderator status. So thank you. You're all really great people. You do a great job. Huge supporters of me. And yeah, absolutely, Rogue. You deserve it. You deserve it. We've seen this already.
They shouldn't leave us hanging like this. Just tell us.
The unfortunate thing in all of this, and let's get a little political here for a second, because I'm not afraid to go there. You already know what the discussion is going to be on this. It's going to be the Second Amendment, and this is going to cause a big thing in Congress, and the president's going to talk about it. He's going to talk about how bad guns are. And the bottom line is this. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. I am a Second Amendment advocate. I do believe that people should be able to own a firearm if they are safe and they go through the training. But unfortunately, sometimes in our society, we get nutcases that do shit like this. So, I think that the biggest thing in our country right now, and it has a lot to do with, I think, a lot of things that have changed in our society in the last 10 years. And a lot of it has been, one, social media. Social media has made a big impact on people's mental health. I think another problem that we have is we have stronger drugs now, street drugs, than we did 10 years ago. Fentanyl is like fucking crazy now. Okay. It's making people crazy. And we have a huge opioid epidemic in here, in the world as well. All these pills that are prescribed to people, all these opioids that are prescribed to people. Now, listen, I'm not saying that is part of this situation. I don't know. Okay. But I was just listening today, talking on the radio, talking about how they Rhode Island, state of Rhode Island, because I'm close to Rhode Island, I get Rhode Island talk radio, talking about, they went out and they sued the drug company. How about they go out and sue the fucking doctors that kept overly prescribing OxyContin to people? How about we go out after those people, or the doctors that overly prescribe fentanyl to people? Do you think that's fucking causing a crisis here in America? Why are we always going at, granted, I think we should go after the drug companies, but I also think that, the doctors that overly prescribe this medication to people, they need to be fucking held accountable as well. Primo, thank you so much. Have a great night. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out. But I think that we need to start addressing mental health. And I think a lot of it is that if you look at our content, what has happened. So we're on the YouTube platform, okay? And I'm gonna use this as an experiment. Now I'll use this as an example. I'm sorry. So YouTube, when it first came out, okay, it was about making the longest videos possible, right? And then we shrank for some fucking reason, this got into uh, uh, into a time period of like 8 minutes was the spot for a video. 8 minutes, 8 minutes, 8 minutes. Then what happened is we had all these other little platforms that came along. Vine, Instagram, Twitter. Now it's TikTok. What have we done? We've now shortened everybody's attention span. And I talk about this all the time. If I put an 8-minute video out, the average watch time on that is 4 minutes. If I put a 4-minute video out, the average watch time is 2 minutes. If I put out a minute video, the average watch time is 30 seconds. People cannot concentrate anymore because we've shortened that firing plug in our brain. And you see it with all these flick apps, flicking, the dating app, flick, Twitter, flick, Reels, flick. It's all this 30-second, 10-second dopamine hits. That's the problem with our society. Everything is so quick. Everything is going too fast. People can't think. They can't process. They can't stop. People are getting overwhelmed. I have major fucking anxiety now. I never had that before. Well, I did when I was a teenager. I kind of grew out of it, but I've come back into it now. And the problem is that our brains don't wind down anymore. There's pressures from work. There's pressures from society. There's pressures from the government. There's we were almost on the break of fucking World War III. Do you think people are amped up? Of course we are. But what we're doing is we're taking the ability away to communicate. We don't have long form conversations anymore. We don't fucking listen to anybody. Everything is a blip and a blurp with someone. You can move on to the next person in a dating app in 5 seconds if you don't agree. Or if you're in a conversation with someone, you can just bow out. But that's the problem, is that our brains are shrinking, where we think that we're getting this over saturation of technology, but our fucking attention span is so short. Our brains are shrinking. We're not using them anymore. We're not using its full capability. And it's fucking with us. It's messing us up. And that's why I urge people, please go out, have a conversation with someone, talk about it. We hold up all this stuff inside. And I even see it with the younger generation. When, like I'll talk to them, they might have an issue at work, and I'll go, well, just go talk to the boss. Well, they bottle that up inside. They're not they're not expressing their feelings. They're not saying, hey, I feel this certain way. And that's the problem. That's where we get all of this, mental health issue. We have no outlets. We don't talk to people anymore. We don't communicate. And I think that's part of the problem. Again, I'm sorry for my rambling, my rant. I probably just lost 40 people. But, that's it. It's how I feel.
Senator Angus King. So this is having an effect not just here in Maine, but across the country this evening. I also want to point out that Bates College in the Lewiston area is in lockdown right now as well. We're hearing about some police activity there too. Well, of course,
Okay, my source says, according to Maine Information Analysis Center, law enforcement says Card has been complaining of hearing voices, has threatened to shoot up National Guard base in Saco, Maine, where he has been repeatedly a reserve member. So that's the latest.
Police presence outside of Central Maine Medical Center, where a lot of these victims have been taken. We know that at least one patient was being taken to Maine Medical Center in Portland, which is where they can handle a little bit higher levels of trauma. Obviously, Central Maine Medical Center obviously set up for trauma as well, but I'm sure they're overloaded with the number of people. We saw the crowds standing out there waiting to hear anything.
Tough night indeed. I want to see if we have that video from outside of Central Maine.
And this is the problem too, is that when you go to the doctor, they don't want to talk to you anymore. They don't want to send you to someone to talk to. What do they try to fix it with right away? They fix it with a pill. Take this medication. Take this pill. How about this? Instead of filling people with all pills, and this is something that helped me, I've never taken any medication. Okay. And I've lived with depression, anxiety my whole life. Okay. I probably have a touch of bipolar as well, too. But what I do is I try to eat well. I try to exercise. You get to the gym, you take a walk, you de-stress, you go out and you work out, release all that tension, those hormones. And I get it. Some people might need medication. I'm not saying that all medication is bad. Some people may need it in a certain situation. But a lot of this stuff can be fixed. Depression, anxiety. Get into the gym, work out, have some self-worth, feel good about yourself, believe in yourself, surround yourself with people that believe in you, and that can help you. That can help you. A lot of the times you can get out of a depression just by that. And that's things that have helped me. That's things that have helped me. And again, I didn't want to get into a huge mental health thing, but this possibly, this is what's going on.
And parents had to come.
Flight radar is circling in and around the area still. We'll go to it real quick. Here you go. Let's go to the feed again.
When we alerted them to the fact that one of the back doors had been left ajar, so we were told quite sternly to get out of the building. There were about as many police officers in the building as there were knitters.
Oh wow! Is this a big building?
Seniors Plus?
Yes.
No, it's just a one-story building. Fortunately, almost all the lights are motion censored. So if anybody had come down any of the hallways or something like that, we
there you
would have
go.
seen them coming long before we would have heard them.
Okay.
So
they evacuated you from the building to make sure that
right now.
Real quick, and I just want to talk about this really quick. Look what the things that are fed to our kids nowadays. And I know I sound like a fucking boomer, but I'm gonna say, listen, I listen to rap music, I listen to rock music, my friends smoked pot, stuff like that. But look at the things that are put out there now. Look at the things that are put out there now. It's it's the stuff's even worse now. The music that's put out there, the lifestyles that are put out there. You watch MTV, they're showing, listen, like Jersey Shore, okay? There were seasons where was it Ronnie and Sammy, the couple there, he's literally like hitting her, and they're showing that on TV. Why are you putting that stuff out there? You're showing a man hitting a woman on live TV, or reality TV. You're seeing that stuff on Big Brother and what's the other one? The Island show there. People being violent, people hitting each other. When kids see that, they're gonna emulate that activity. And granted, I watch all that shit, but I'm just saying, you're seeing more of that now on TV than ever before. They have relationship shows where they're showing people having sex with multiple partners and stuff like that. That's what we're feeding into our society now. It's just crazy. All the other stuff that has come up. Listen, I don't want to get too crazy in it, but
wherever and whenever the need arises, thanks to
I
volunteer
think you
blood
get my
donations who
drift.
step up every day to save lives.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
So
Thank
they are
you.
grateful for donors. They did mention that their center in Auburn is currently on lockdown, but they are planning to adjust if there are any people who are willing to donate blood. At
Thank you, JD.
Certainly
We'll
worth checking in
hang
with
here.
them, I would say tomorrow, let things sort of calm down a little bit. But sure, the shortage, the need is definitely going to be great tomorrow.
Yep, the good old days,
Also
Kent.
worth reminding people that police are looking for 40-year-old
The 90s was the best
Card. I
time.
know we've been
I
sharing
don't care
his
what anybody
photo,
says.
but he
Late
is the
80s,
man believed to be,
in the
he is the
90s.
person of interest in this shooting. We do know that 22 people have been killed. That's from NBC, who got that information from Lewiston Police. And again, we're still waiting to hear from police tonight. Our Alex Haskell is live at the Lewiston City Hall, where Lewiston Police, Androscoggin
I know,
County
Ken,
Sheriffs,
right?
and
So
Maine
good.
State Police have all gathered. And it sounds like
I
the
know,
ATF
it's
from
great,
Boston
wasn't it?
is on their way there.
Oh
If they're not
wow,
there
truth
yet,
exposed.
to all
You
sort of
have a
regroup and
avatar
gather
photo
all of the
now. That's great
information
to see
and
you.
let all of us know exactly what's
Nice
going
to see
on.
you.
And hopefully we have a resolution to this very soon. But in the meantime, they're asking everyone
That's if you can
to
even
shelter in
find
place,
kids
lock
playing
your
outside
doors.
And
nowadays.
we've
I don't
said
even
that
hear it.
number
Gen X.
22,
Yep, Gen X,
at least
baby.
22 over and over and over again tonight. Those are human beings. Those are moms, dads, brothers, and sisters. To put it into perspective, last year in Maine, there were 29 homicides. Today alone, 22 people died.
That's a big number, and
we don't need
something
MTV.
that
We have
here in
LTL
Maine
now.
have never seen, and obviously it's a big deal. A lot of national news networks have been picking this up and covering this because this affects a lot of people. We're hearing that the police are getting ready to do a press conference, so we'll get to that the minute we see them come up to the podium there. We're keeping an eye on that. But again, just to remind you that this has been a very active scene all night tonight. We first got word of it around 6:30 tonight, and so we've had reporters
we
on
know what
scenes
Truth Exposed looks like. Well,
multiple
welcome to the
scenes. We've
group.
been at Spare Time Recreation.
You had the Marvin the
Schmeggy's Bar
Martian
and
for a
Grill you
long
see
time.
there on Lincoln. All right, we're going to toss over to police at Lewiston City Hall.
All right, here we go. Live press conference. Here we go.
Thank you for joining us here this evening. My name is Mike Sawchuk. I'm the Commissioner for the Department of Public Safety here in Maine. We truly do appreciate your patience and your partnership as we work with all of our partners across the law enforcement spectrum at all levels, local, state, county, and federal, to address and investigate these violent crimes that occurred in the city of Lewiston this evening. As you know, this is an experienced group. We won't have a lot of Q&A here this evening. This still is very fresh. It's new. It's new for all of us. And our focus is on the investigation and getting this right the first time. And we're doing that with our partners. And we do appreciate you putting out information from time to time. Moving forward, we would appreciate it if you got that information from us so that we knew that it was accurate. And that is incredibly important for all of us from an investigative standpoint and from a public safety standpoint, that we have a unified front with this information as we release it. The delay in coming here with you now is simply because we want to confirm information from our end. We want to make sure the information we're giving you and the information that goes out to the general public is accurate. So we do have some information here that we will release. It is here on the podium. And this is a general caution to the public that approximately 6:56 this evening, a couple of shooting incidents occurred here with multiple casualties in the city of Lewiston. And police are currently searching for a Robert R. Card, 4/4 of 1983 of Bowdoin. Card is considered armed and dangerous. He is a person of interest, however, and that's what we'll label him at moving forward until that changes. If people see him, they should not approach Card or make contact with him in any way. The shelter-in-place order that currently stands in Lewiston remains. A vehicle, which was a vehicle of interest in this incident, was located in Lisbon, and we are now also asking residents in Lisbon to shelter in place. So please share that information with communities as well. If anybody sees Mr. Card or has any additional information reference to these two shootings in the city of Lewiston, please contact 911. If they see anything suspicious, please feel free to call their local authorities. We have literally hundreds of police officers working around the state of Maine to investigate this case, to locate Mr. Card, who again is a person of interest and a person of interest only. And we'll continue to gather information so that we can bring the suspect to justice and ultimately seek prosecution down the road. This release also includes a photo, which I believe I have seen from various sources. I would also let you know that we have created a reunification location, and that would be at the Auburn Middle School, so in the neighboring community of Auburn, at 38 Falcon Drive. Again, that's the Auburn Middle School. And when I say reunification center or location, what that means is that if somebody has a question or they have a concern, they can't find a loved one, they believe that a friend or a family member may be involved in what occurred here tonight in Lewiston, that they could respond to that location. We will have some of our behavioral health liaisons, counselors on site, and we'll also be providing information as it becomes available to us. As you can imagine, and as you know, there are multiple scenes in the city to include multiple hospitals, multiple follow-ups, a lot of witnesses we're speaking with, and a lot of leads. The general public has been very cooperative and very forthcoming with information. So I would expect if we have additional information, we'll be happy to come back and share it with you. I know that from the city of Lewiston standpoint, probably going to close City Hall after this briefing and probably move everybody out. But again, we appreciate your partnership and your patience. I would offer to take questions just so you know that I probably won't have answers. And as long as you know that going in, there's no disrespect intended in that. Feel free to ask a couple, and if I think we can get there, then I'm happy to answer those. If not, we do have work to do on behalf of our communities, and that's our primary focus this evening.
There are many specific figures about casualties out there. The sheriff Sanderson told me up as many as 20. I just wanted to give you the opportunity to set the record straight on that.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. And I know that there's been a lot of numbers out there. This is a very fluid situation. So the last thing I want to come up is give you a number and then 3 hours from now change that in one direction or another. So I don't have firm numbers on that. And when I do, we'll be happy to share those with you, because it's an important piece of healing and it's an important piece of information for all of us to be aware of. But I don't have a firm number on that.
But at least 16, right?
I think I just answered that question to say that I'm not going to give you any specific numbers. And there's been a lot of numbers all over the map all evening. And I don't think that that's helpful because it doesn't help family members. It certainly doesn't help the community to see, well, they just said this and they said that. So if you want accurate information, I'm prepared to give that to you when I have it. I don't have that right now.
Does the suspect have any known criminal history with law enforcement? Is he someone who's been on the radar of state police or local police to your knowledge?
Well, Mr. Card, who we're speaking about right now, is a person of interest and a person of interest only, right? I'm not listing him as a suspect at this point, and we're not prepared to go into his background or anything else that we may be aware of. One more question?
You're only looking for one shooter, correct?
We're looking for this person of interest right now, and that's what we'll label and list and speak about at this particular moment. When we have additional information, I'm happy to share that. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Again, thank you for your time. And I know Assistant City Manager O'Malley will make arrangements, I think, to move everybody out of the building. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
These are the flyers that we were mentioning. So here we grab those. we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you very much.
That was Commissioner for Maine's Public Safety, Michael Soschuk, just briefing the press on what's going on. Really, we didn't get much information out of that, except that they continue to be searching for 40-year-old Robert Card, who they are calling a person of interest in this. And they did locate a vehicle that they believed he was in Lisbon, but it was empty. So they are asking people in Lisbon to shelter in place while they continue their search. Robert Card is believed to be armed and dangerous. They are also still asking people in Lewiston to shelter in place at this point.
Yeah, the only other major bit of information there was that there is a reunification center they've opened up as well. That's at the Auburn Middle School at 38 Falcon Court, I believe. So they have opened up a reunification center for families there. And in terms of the numbers, our reporting, we just want to be clear here. We are reporting at least 22 people killed in that Lewiston shooting. This is according to NBC News through the Lewiston Police Department. But as you heard there, Michael Soschuk, the Commissioner for Department of Public Safety, was not ready to firmly.
So one of Chelsea Grimm's friends. Oh, shit.
We understand taking reporters' questions.
They are asking people in
Go back.
Lisbon to shelter in
One of
place while they
Chelsea
continue their
Grimm's
search.
friends just
Robert
said that
Card is
they're
believed to be armed
close
and
to where this
dangerous.
shooting
They are
happened.
also still asking people in Lewiston
She just
to
texted me.
shelter in place at this point.
Yeah, the only other major bit of information there was that there is a reunification center they've opened up as well. That's at the Auburn Middle School at 38 Falcon Court, I believe. So they have opened up a reunification center for families there. And in terms of the numbers, our reporting, we just want to be clear here. We are reporting at least 22 people killed in that Lewiston shooting. This is according to NBC News through the Lewiston Police Department. But as you heard there, Michael Soschuk, the Commissioner for
looks
Department of
like
Public
the
Safety, was not ready to firmly say just how many. And of course, this is tough for them. We understand taking
The answers they haven't heard.
Flight radar. I'm going to go back to that. Looks like it is going back possibly to refuel. So it's leaving the scene. My guess is they're going to head back somewhere and refuel and land because they circled this area. But I'll keep an eye on it. It's probably going to go back and refuel. Excuse me, at this point. Excuse me. We'll go back to the live feed.
if you know anything
Just going to
about
step
where
aside for a
Robert
second.
Card of Bowdoin
Yeah, and
is,
just take a quick
he's
break.
40
I'll
years
be right
old.
back.
You were asked to call police. They say you can just call 911 if you happen to see him tonight, because this is a manhunt at this point. They are the hundreds of officers from across the state and even New England coming in to try and track this man down. His picture right there on your screen. They are saying he is a person of interest in this case tonight.
And again, if you don't have to go to this reunification center in Auburn Middle School, please stay home. Stay where you are. Shelter in place is the message to everyone right now. But if you are very concerned about your loved ones, if you're maybe waiting outside of Central Maine Medical Center, again, the reunification center they're sending people to is at the Auburn Middle School on Falcon Drive. But again, if you don't have to be out, that's the big message from police is stay at home. Where even Bates College in Lewiston is on lockdown right now. They're telling their students to stay put.
Right, and we're getting a number of schools announcing that they're canceling classes tomorrow. So we will try to get an updated list, but they seem to just be coming in more and more of schools in the greater Lewiston area saying, no, we're not going to bring kids in. It's just not the time for that. So families obviously check with your local school district. You probably received the text message or email tonight, but there are other schools that we have received messages from. If you haven't heard from your school, like Bonnie Eagle. The superintendent's acknowledging that they are weighing the decision and will make a final announcement in the morning. But of course, understanding the gravity of the situation tonight.
This is video from earlier tonight outside of Spare Time Recreation. And yet, speaking on that school subject, we keep talking about how much this impacts people all over the state. There are schools in Poland, Mechanic Falls, Bowdoin, Brunswick, that have closed. And the reason I said Bowdoin is because that's where Robert Card is from. That's what police are telling us. But we know Poland, Mechanic Falls, Brunswick, Grey New Gloucester, they're not directly close to Lewiston, but they're closing tomorrow. So definitely keep in touch with your school. If you have not gotten the text, keep an eye out on any decisions made. And again, at Auburn Middle School, there will be a behavioral health liaison there tonight. We just heard Commissioner Michael Soschuk with Maine's Public Safety Department talk about how this is still a very fluid situation, still very active scenes all over Lewiston that we're hearing from our reporters, and still a very active scene in Lisbon Falls where our reporter Hannah Kumler is. Right now you're looking at video from Central Maine Medical Center where crowds have just gathered outside waiting for any sort of information on their people who were either at Schmenge's Bar and Grill tonight or at Spare Time Recreation.
Yeah, just seeing the number of people gather around that hospital tonight waiting for the news about their loved ones is quite unimaginable.
Yeah,
I
sorry about
imagine
that.
they're trying to get
Take a
some
quick
folks away
break.
from that hospital and get them to this center in Auburn, and just trying to kind of make sure things are set up for them so that they can get them the information they need.
We are still getting some photos and videos in from our reporters who were out on the scene, but they have been out there since we first heard of this situation. And we just heard from Michael Soschuk, who said the situation first happened around 6:56 tonight. You can imagine 6:56 on a Wednesday night. A lot of people out.
Are out of work.
Yeah.
At the bar, at the restaurant, at the bowling alley, just off of work, trying to relax with friends.
All right, I'm going to go to
probably
ABC
family,
News.
and then the unimaginable.
I'll go back to the local feed here in a minute. I just want to hear some different perspectives. I see ABC News has a feed. Let's go here. Whoops.
They do mean something to him. Urging extreme caution.
ABC
Brad Garrett,
News
thank you so
Live.
much. And Aaron, one last moment with you.
Excuse me.
Clearly, he's described as armed and dangerous. He is not yet in custody. This is a very dynamic situation. Knowing what you've now learned about his background, where do you think this investigation heads?
It's very worrying, Juju, because he has now been at large for almost 5 hours. The first shots rang out in Lewiston, Maine, just before 7 p.m. Eastern time, and the authorities still have not been able to place this person of interest into custody. He's not being called a suspect, but they are considering him armed and dangerous, Robert Card, and with his military history as a fire.
I really wish they would just start calling this what it is. You know, we know the guy's a friggin' suspect. We know the guy's a friggin' suspect. Just call it out what it is. You know, everything is so damn fucking sensitive nowadays. Oh, we got to be sensitive to this. We got to be the fucking guy did it. We know he did it. It's a person of interest. We know he's a suspect. Just fucking say he's a suspect. He's a suspect. It's what he, it's what he is.
Thomas, thank you from DC. Again, a mass casualty event still underway, a mass shooting at 2 different locations in Lewiston, Maine. We will, of course, continue to follow this developing story here on ABC News Live. And right now, we're going to return you to our station in Portland, Maine at WMTW. I'm Juju Chang in New York. Good night.
This has been a special report from ABC News.
Public Safety, Mike Soschuk, who we heard from. Again, when somebody called him a suspect, he said, no, we'll call him a person of interest. So again, an important note there. And as we've seen from Commissioner Soschuk over the time that he has been leading state police and the public safety department, really cautious in releasing information, wanting to make sure that information is right. You have to
100%.
respect that, but also the demand for information is
agree.
very significant. And we are seeing CNN reporting 22 dead, ABC News, 20 people dead here in the state of Maine. So gathering that information, we have been wanting to make sure that it is right, it is correct. And so we are reporting information as we are able to confirm it from law enforcement partners.
And he did mention that that
It's
is
a
an important
conspiracy
piece
now? What are they
of,
saying? Red,
of this
what, a false
healing
flag?
process and understanding the developments, but shied away from officially confirming any of the numbers that we've heard. First the 16 number,
false flags,
or first
Tsunami?
10, then 16, and 20,
False flag?
and in some cases 22. But we are reporting
Take
at
our
this time, according to
attention away
ABC
from
News,
the
that
war.
20 people have been reported dead. Dozens are hurt in the Lewiston shootings. And we know many of those injured have been taken to Central Maine Medical Center, where we have a crew outside talking about seeing some of the victims' families who are trying to get information out there, even a chaplain coming outside to try and help people sort of digest and cope and deal with what is, you can only say, is an incredibly difficult and really trying situation on this evening. It all started at
Helicopter's
6:56,
gone.
and
That's
here we are,
probably,
quarter to
refueling,
midnight.
I would guess,
Some of the
at
words
this
we're
point.
seeing pop up: unthinkable, horrific, tragic, certainly all of the above here in the state of Maine tonight. And we do know this search is still active, an active manhunt for whoever is responsible for this violence in the state of Maine, the person of interest there on your screen. And Maine bringing in those resources. The commissioner said hundreds of police officers right now, they are working tonight to find whoever is responsible, including the person they've identified as that person of interest. And as we talked earlier to Rich Kolko, the former FBI retired agent who spoke with us, he said he believed at least that this person who was at the bowling alley, at the bar, likely knew somebody who was there. So if you are one of those people, again, the commissioner just underscoring, call 911 right away if that person looks familiar to you.
And the commissioner stopping short of talking about Robert Card's background, but we are reporting from ABC News that they say that this person of interest has a history of military service and is a firearms instructor. Also has a mental health history, including a 2-week stay this past summer at a mental health facility after he reported hearing voices and made threats to shoot up a National Guard facility in Saco. Authorities, again, tracing that Subaru, that white Subaru that we've been seeing, back to that location in Lisbon, Maine, where we have Connor staked out and who has now reported that the helicopter seems to have flown away. And it appears as though the police presence is slowly dispersing. So that's kind of where we are at this moment.
We also learned about that reunification location for families. If you're watching this evening and wondering where to go, wondering if somebody didn't come home that you were expecting to be home at this time, the place to go is Auburn Middle School. That is where police are suggesting that you go if you're looking to reunite with somebody to get more information regarding that. We do have one of our crews headed that way to be helpful and also try to get information about what is going on in the Lewiston, Auburn area. But again, as we have been reporting, that shelter in place, order in place in Androscoggin County, also now in place in Lisbon. So stay home and lock your doors, the best advice tonight.
And I, keep going back to what we've learned about a mom, Riley Dumont, saying her 11-year-old daughter was bowling at a children's bowling league when she heard several shots. The father, retired police officer, corralled the family into.
I'm kind of bored of this coverage. We're going to go back to the main feed. I like theirs better. They were better.
So hopefully people are getting the message to get home and lock the doors and stay
Carrie,
safe.
if you need to go to bed, go to
And
bed.
Commissioner Soschuk earlier, didn't share some firm numbers, did share.
I don't know. We're
information
watching
about
LTL
just the
tonight.
sheer response here that we're talking about.
We're
Obviously,
on
we've seen
LTL
the images
podcast.
of the police cars and whatnot swarming the scene. But in this case, he's talking about hundreds of police officers, law enforcement officers from Lewiston, from the county, from the state, from across across New England, even the ATF, FBI, from the Boston Bureau, other federal agencies getting involved in this search at this point, because as it drags on, it gets harder and harder for them to track down the person. But of course, it's a numbers game. So they're saying if we can get enough feet on the ground looking for him, hopefully they can track him down, which is why they need your help. Really, if you think about just how vast Maine is, how quickly it is, how easy it is rather to get to more rural areas. If you happen to see him anywhere in the greater Lewiston area or beyond, police really ask you to give
When's
them
the
a
last
call.
thing
You can
ever put
you can do
C
so
or D
anonymously,
batteries in,
whatever you
or
need to
D
do
batteries?
to get information to police so they can
Never.
track this man down tonight.
Which that in itself, that number too, is
Oh, I have
that's a
that.
huge number. Hundreds of police in Maine right now searching for Robert Card, the 40-year-old person of interest from Bowdoin. They found his car in Lisbon. Hundreds of police. It's an astounding number. You think about the number of
Yeah,
agencies
boomboxes.
that would have to be responding to this here in Maine. A lot of
Excuse me.
response here.
Yeah, we haven't seen
Maine is still
something
trending
of this magnitude, a
on.
manhunt like this since perhaps the murder
All right,
and death
let's
of Corporal
hear
Moore in Somerset County.
let's hear from News Nation. We have Banfield right now. Let's hear from Banfield.
Distribution center in Auburn.
Let's go back and play this from Banfield, News Nation.
Sheena lives about 10 minutes away from the bowling alley, which was one of the locations that was targeted. Sheena, your husband works at the Walmart distribution center in Auburn. Your mother-in-law bowls at that bowling alley. And is this accurate? You're unsure if your friends were there, are there, might be dead or injured. Is that true?
My mother-in-law, yeah, because my father-in-law and my mother-in-law have been in the bowling league for a very, very long time, many years. And yes, they have lost a few friends. They definitely know they have some friends injured.
Is your mother-in-law safe?
She is safe, thank God. Yeah.
But she's unable to reach some of the friends that she thinks may be or have been at the.
There are confirmed injuries of some friends. I don't know all of them. She said some may be dead. She hasn't obviously been able to contact, as you know, some those family members that she's trying to reach to see if that person's okay, like is obviously going through trauma.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Does she have any additional information on what transpired at the bowling alley? Was she able to get a hold of anyone who may know something?
Yeah. She hasn't been able to really. She doesn't know any more than me, I guess. And the only reason I knew like pretty early on, because my son is 14. He's a junior firefighter, and I had to go pick him up 20 minutes after dropping him off. And that's when the situation was unfolding. And he said, "You have to come pick me up." And he said, "Mom, you can't tell anybody, you know, but there's a active shooting going on right now." And I was like, "What?" And so that's when I reached out to my mother-in-law. He had told me where the shootings were. And then I contacted my mother-in-law. So basically, we were all kind of finding out at the same time, or people were just starting to find out after me. Just because my son was, you know, at the place where all the emergencies were all called. All people were called to that location, to Lewiston. Green, all the.
Thank you, Katie. Welcome
I
in.
would imagine you are also sheltering in place as I speak with you.
Yes, we're sheltering in place. We've gotten several alerts on our phone saying that you need to take the keys out of your car, lock your doors on the car, your home, and stay in place.
Do you have your phone? Do you have your phone handy? Are you able to read one of those alerts to me that you've been receiving?
I actually am on my phone right now.
No, don't worry. That's okay. I just thought if it was in your hand, if it was.
She's like, "Can you get off your phone and read us the fucking text?"
One of them.
That'd be
I
great.
screen recorded one of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so you got the shelter in place. No, do you remember what time that happened when you were told to hunker down?
I would say like maybe around 10, but the situation was already unfolding, so we didn't get the alert until later, quite considerably later, because you know there were several other places being attacked. We were hearing that there were several shooters. We were hearing that there's just one. There's been all kinds of speculation, and there hasn't been any news conference yet on this.
But well, and we're watching for that. I may have to interrupt you at any moment, Sheena, because there's we've
I just
sort
got a
of
text
quadrant
from my
here,
source.
with a lot of images. On the left is the suspect allegedly who.
Just got my text from my source. Police scanner, multiple reports citing of card in Portland, Maine. FYI, units rushing to address in South Portland, probably unrelated. So that is an update from my Maine, my friend in Maine,
wreaked this
AZ.
hell and havoc on your community, Robert Card, 40. Jack, you ever heard of him before? Do you know anything about him other than what you're hearing tonight?
Nope, I don't know anything about him. I have seen some things that.
Let's go here. Maine trending. Let's see what we got. Trending Maine. Heavy police presence in central Maine Medical Center as police chopper, ATF, FBI, state, and local efficiencies. That's a couple minutes ago. Shooter identified as Robert Carr. Wow, look at this. That's the perimeter. Wow. Here's JLR. Brian Enton reporting 3 hours ago. Jennifer Coffindaffer. Maine State Police. This is wrong, and this needs to be taken down. This is not correct. Obviously this person, leaves this tweet up because they want 1 million views on their tweet. Now, JLR did post this. I will give him a lot of credit. He did delete the tweet, which is pretty cool that he went back and deleted the tweet. But this moron will leave this up because he wants the 1 million views on his Twitter feed. So this is not correct information. This is wrong. It is not confirmed. Take the tweet down, you moron. Here's some feed earlier. Let's check this out. Yeah, clickbait, all it is. Take it down. Not a correct tweet. We're hoping not, Wolfdog. Wow. Super intense. Let's go back to the feed.
2 people working here at the hospital about their loved one to see if their loved one was involved or hurt or injured or died in any of these shootings. We spoke with people who were just confused and frustrated over what was happening here too. But over the past 2 hours, it's really just been a slow trickle of people in and out of here. Obviously, people walking inside were affected by this in some capacity. Either they have a loved one who is being treated here at the Central Maine Medical Center, or they have a loved one, unfortunately, who passed away. Again, it was 22 people killed here in Lewiston this evening. 22 people in Lewiston. And like we've been saying, it's not just a Lewiston event that's happened. This is a Maine issue. This is a nationwide issue, that a tragedy that we've seen here. 22 lives taken. And there's been armed guards, armed law enforcement members here as well, most of the time, keeping watch. We were actually on the main street here and had those armed guards tell us to get down to the rampway here so that we could stay away from the main road while they continue to search for that suspect that we've been talking about for so long. And if we could pan a little bit to my left here, we could see that's where the main entrance is of the center. And I don't know where the camera is right now, but you could, if you look carefully, you can see some of those armed guards walking around, kind of making sure that people who have had family, who have been impacted, can come and go safely, so that they can come and go safely, because we still have somebody at large here in our community in Maine who police believe shot and killed 22 people here. And as you heard Commissioner Soschuk say, hundreds of police officers, quite a few of them here, making sure that those people who have loved ones impacted this can safely enter. One of those loved ones we did talk to, her name is Julie. She said she moved here to Lewiston when she was 17 or 18 years old. You know, we say this a lot that we don't think it could happen here, but the way she said it, just especially coming from a mother who tells me that she doesn't know if her son, who was involved at Shemengi's bar, she got the call that he was shot there. She doesn't know if he's alive or dead. Last we spoke to her, she still doesn't know. She voiced her frustration over it. Take a listen to what she had to say here.
Oh, man.
I'm a little freaked out. I want to know. You know what I mean? He's a young man. They shouldn't leave us hanging like this. Just tell us. I feel so bad for his wife. I mean, my kid, I don't know what's going on with him.
They told us that this is an active scene, and they're currently looking into that right now. And so as we stand here, there still is that active shelter in place order that is happening, not only in Lewiston, but in Lisbon as well, as Commissioner Soschuk said.
I think it's
in
only
his
a
press
few miles
conference.
from what
But
the
as we stand here, just
report
know
said.
that there is that
Wolf
shelter in place
dog.
going on. So
That's-
do not leave your house. Lock your doors. Try not to leave your house at all. And as we've been saying all night, there is
just a
going
few
to be a
miles.
relocation area. I believe that's in Auburn. I believe you guys could talk a little bit more about that. But for now, we're standing here at the Central Maine Medical
You check
Center,
my
the
source.
nearest hospital to where this awfully deadly shooting took place, where 22 people were killed here in Lewiston this evening.
So last I heard from my source says police scanned among multiple reports citing of card in Portland, Maine, FYI. Units rushing to address in South Portland, probably unrelated. That's what my source is telling me.
Soschuk from State Police, who just spoke recently. Our Alex Haskell is standing by there live and just heard what the commissioner had to say. Alex, you can bring us up to date.
Ollie, feel better.
Hi, guys. Yeah, well, just want to let you know right now we are in Auburn. We are at the middle school. I want to give you the address. It is 38 Falcon Drive, and we heard the commissioner talk about this location. This is where they have set up a reunification center. This is where anyone can come if you have questions, if you have concerns,
feel better, buddy.
if you
Thank
can't
you.
find a loved one or believed if a loved one, if a friend, family member was involved in tonight's shooting, yesterday's shooting. You know, this is the place to come. They have counselors on hand, and it is secure here. We was driving up the driveway here, and police stopped us, shined a flashlight in our car. So this is a safe place to be right now if you have concerns, if you have questions. And this news is just coming out as of a few minutes ago. So we're slowly seeing people arrive here on scene. Either bringing their questions or their concerns. And we also want to mention, as I'm sure you have been hearing tonight, Lewiston isn't the only place to, stay inside, be safe. Also Lisbon, both stay inside in those locations. And again, this location in Auburn is safe with the police officers here. Now, I want to toss to some sound that we heard from the commissioner, just talking about, all the police that have been involved in this effort to keep everyone safe and find the suspect.
We have literally hundreds of police officers working around the state of Maine to investigate this case, to locate Mr. Card, who again is a person of interest and a person of interest only. And we'll continue to gather information so that we can bring
Just call it what it is,
suspect to
dude.
justice and ultimately seek prosecution down the road.
And again, some of those police officers here tonight, I will give you that address again, 38 Falcon Drive, Auburn Middle School. This is a reunification center. If you have questions, concerns, looking for a loved one, this is the place to be. Brian and Lee, I'll toss things back to you.
All right, Alex, thank you very much. And Alex, standing by what probably described as that reunification center. And for the woman that Jack spoke with and that we just saw, this kind of streamlines the process, if you will, to get the information to the people who are missing their loved ones, don't know if they're okay, have questions about getting status updates on them, and instead of trying to find all of the people, picking a central location, getting them there, and then there's one place for everybody to get the information that they need and they so desperately obviously deserve.
And certainly you imagine also helps the law enforcement side of getting the names of the people who need to be contacted and coordinated and all of that. We're talking about a lot of people tonight. 22 people is what NBC is reporting through Lewiston Police. But as we heard in the briefing that we were so anxiously waiting for a while from the Commissioner of Public Safety, not committing to a number at this point. And certainly can appreciate that perspective and can appreciate your perspective of wanting a number, needing some information to hold on to.
And at the same time, as a Mainer, as somebody watching, I wanted to hear him say 22, right? Because I wanted to not think it might be more.
Right.
You know, and obviously hopefully less, but I was hoping to hear something more definite, clearly understanding why the commissioner can't do that. So many things going on. First and foremost, they still don't have Robert Card. He's the suspect. He's the person of interest. Choosing words carefully.
Call it what
He's
it
the person
is,
of interest.
man.
There he is,
Fuck.
40 years old, born April 4th, 1983. He is the one that the police are looking for, and they still do not have him. We're at 12:06 and a half here on Thursday morning, and we still have not found this man, which is why the shelter in place is in place in so many places to keep everybody safe. You know, this started in Lewiston at 6:56 tonight, so 5 hours ago plus. And we're still going, looking for him. They thought they maybe they found his car anyway in Lisbon at the boat launch on Frost Hill Road in Lisbon. The car was found, but he was not with the car. So, and it's been relatively quiet, if you will, the chatter about where they're seemingly looking for him next. So that's obviously a point of concern because right now they don't have him. And until they have him,
AZ
you know,
just
we don't know
texted
where he
me
is.
with some
Right, and I think in those, we know
New Hampshire
in those
State
kind of
Police
initial
chopper back
first
in the
few
air
hours,
in Lisbon.
after
I'm
we learned
told
about this,
New
there were
Hampshire
reports
Police
of a
State Chief are back.
group of
Okay,
police
let me
officers
see if
here, a group of
chopper's
police
back
officers
up.
there, and there was that feeling of okay,
Chopper
this
is up.
is very wide,
Chopper is up.
and there is at least I think a breath
Back
of
in
calm now that we're not hearing as much as that. To your
Chopper is up.
This bowling alley, kind of like a business park, an office park, kind of set a few minutes north of the downtown Lewiston area. So kind of a ways from downtown, and that bar maybe about 10 minutes south of us. So the locations kind of spread apart. But of course, when this all happened just before 7 o'clock tonight, law enforcement very quickly told everyone to shelter in place, to lock your doors. And there are some businesses just down the road here. And earlier tonight, I talked to some workers inside a Burger King and inside a gas station.
Yes, he
and
does.
they were just absolutely
Yes, he
terrified
does.
getting this news. And those Burger King workers, they locked the doors, they turned off the lights, and they went in the back and they huddled for hours. And that gas station, those workers there,
Yes.
same thing. A law enforcement officer came in with a rifle looking for the suspect. So they cleared that business, and all of those workers were locked in an office, just huddling and waiting to see if law enforcement could track down the suspect. Unfortunately, we're talking now 5 hours later, and they are still looking for this man. So obviously things quite unsettled here. As law enforcement, they do their job behind us here, but throughout this community, people have their doors locked, and they are just sheltering in place until police can find this person
that's
of
right.
interest.
Kelly has the can of corn,
All
remember?
right, John, with that report, really painting that
She
picture
has the
for us.
can
The
of
officers
corn.
coming in with a rifle looking for the person
Maybe
of
I need
interest.
to get a
People
can of
huddled
corn. Let's get a can
together
of
in
corn.
an
Hang
office.
on.
What moments?
We're gonna get a lucky can. Hang
Really
on.
tragic, difficult moment for so many people. And we do know that there was a children's bowling league there this evening. At least one of the kids was 11 years old. We're working on getting more of that interview for you so we can play that for you a little bit later. But we appreciate that report from John tonight.
We do want to turn back to Connor Clement. He is in Lisbon. We understand he just spoke with the police chief there in Lisbon. And Connor, what did you hear? That was the area where police were searching from the sky with that chopper. What have you heard? What is the latest on the search there, where they also found the person of interest vehicle?
Yeah, John, well, you can probably hear it, actually. That helicopter, we checked back in with you guys 15 minutes ago. That helicopter had left the area. You can hear it. It's flying right over my head as we speak. So that helicopter is back here. It's circling the same area here in Lisbon that it was before for quite some time. And you're right, I did catch up with Ryan Miggy. He's the police chief here in Lisbon. We're actually outside of the police headquarters here in town. And he's at Springworks on that property of Springworks Farm I mentioned earlier, as are a lot of law enforcement. It's a heavy police police presence. He came up to us and told us, guys, you need to move down the road. This is an unsafe area. It's very dangerous to be here in this area. So we moved down the road probably about a mile from where we were before, and we're just up the way now from Springworks Farm. And there's a large police presence out back of the farm there and surrounding the property. Out back, if you look on a map, Springworks Farm, it's a huge green field out back of the farm there. And then there's a development. It looks like a development of homes situated way out back of the farm. That seems to be the area, that general vicinity where law enforcement are keying in on. And again, Ryan McGee, the police chief here, he was fully decked out in tactical gear. He was brandishing a rifle. He told us it's dangerous here, guys. You need to move out of the way. You need to move down the road to get to safety. He said it's not a safe place to be here in Lisbon right now as they continue to scour that area. So again, the helicopter back in the sky here, you might make assumptions that it left the area to refuel. Obviously, it was circling the area for quite some time. We don't know that to be true, but it is back in full force. It's actually coming back this way now. The lights are back on and shining a light overhead of the farm down there to our right. And along here, Route 196 in Lisbon, that seems to be where law enforcement officials are keying their efforts and their searches, looking for this person of interest, Robert Card, who they are looking for in connection to the Lewiston shootings earlier tonight. So again, you can hear the helicopter. It's right over our head right now. And again, Chief Ryan McGee of Lisbon Police Department here says it's dangerous to be in this area right now, guys.
And Connor, I'm sure this comes as no surprise to you, but as of midnight, we have an update from Lisbon Police on the Facebook page that there's an active situation ongoing within the town of Lisbon. The matter does involve a search within the town for a suspect. They say suspect, the Commissioner of Public Safety saying person of interest, believed to have been involved in multiple shooting incidents in Lewiston. So Lisbon Police now saying that they are searching for the person of interest in that area.
And we're also, we heard from John Atwater, a reporter from WCVB, and he was talking about that moment of police going into a Burger King and searching for a person of interest. We're also hearing from a gas station worker. There are a lot of employees in that area. There are a lot of businesses asked to close, and the people who were there stayed inside. They stayed in work with coworkers, and we're getting a sense of what happened inside in those moments from one of those employees, one of those workers tonight. So take a listen.
Open.
We had a cop come in with his rifle, pointed search. Once he cleared us, he said for us to call corporate and lock down the store. And our corporate has locked us down in the building until they call us otherwise. I'm very anxious right now.
And clearly that would be the case for many of those other businesses in that area. You know, as John Atwater was explaining, that sort of is like a business park. So a number of different businesses in that area likely on lockdown and seeing officers with rifles coming in to try and apprehend this person of interest.
Two people out and about on a fairly warm fall evening here in Maine and just had the most horrible, tragic turn
to the other
of events.
News feed. Looks like there's something going on. Let's get to that. What's going on here?
Happened. No, I was off campus when I heard about the first reports that there was an active shooter in the Lewiston area, and have been just monitoring the situation since.
How are you feeling right now?
I am feeling all of the things that people feel when their community has been attacked. I am somewhat in shock, even though we've been saying that these things can happen anywhere, and they often happen in smaller communities. And Maine has just been lucky for the most part to not have an attack like this. Of course, this is an attack on a scale that is shocking by any measure, but also concerned. I'm concerned about all of my students and my friends who work at Bates and in the community, and hoping that they are staying safe and that they are getting what they need. And again, this is unfolding right now. We don't know who the victims are, and so just kind of holding my breath at this point.
Professor, you find yourself in a very probably unique position where a large portion, the majority of your career has been dedicated to researching these exact types of incidents. what are you kind of coming to terms with now in your head, given all of the research you've done about mass shootings and one happening right in your own backyard?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes through your head. Obviously, most people who are following the story have seen the pictures of the suspect with the weapon, and people will draw conclusions about the type of weapon without it being confirmed yet. So I don't want to comment on what type of weapon it was, but it sure looks like some sort of a rifle that can do a lot of damage. And we've done research on the types of guns that wind up causing the most casualties in these types of events. We know that there are certain types of laws that don't necessarily restrict people's freedoms, but also can be helpful in preventing these types of attacks. And so the first, reaction, I think, is frustration, really. Frustration that we've been talking about this. We've been trying to put out information about what we know so far, and we know more and more every day about why these attacks happen, how these attacks happen, and what type of policies are seemingly effective. And it does not seem as if there's any traction to get anything done.
I told you this would turn into a political debate. I told you, all these people, they pull up, the liberal news media will pull up, and they will talk about how awful guns are. And the funny fucking thing is, it's going to be some citizen that has a fucking rifle that takes this guy out. I'm going to tell you. That's what it's going to be. And that person that takes this guy out is probably going to save a lot of lives.
Side of Androscoggin County, obviously in Androscoggin County, there are kids who this thing started, at 7:00 tonight. Kids are awake. Kids are still, and they're watching, and they're worried, and they don't know. And it's stuff that we talked about earlier that they've practiced just in case, and the just in case is now. So there are resources available. So if you're watching, and whether you're directly or indirectly or not at all affected, other than being a Mainer, by what happened, there will be resources
it's like
available to anybody who needs them. So please.
What was it, a couple months ago or about a year ago, that asshole that got into a mall and shot up a whole bunch of people, and thank God there was someone there that had their pistol and pulled it out and killed that guy and saved, it was in New Jersey, I think, saved a whole bunch of people's lives.
Anna Kumler and I have been on scene here by Lisbon High School for about an hour or so. Just want to get everyone up to speed with what we are seeing here. As you can see, cars are still traveling through Lisbon Street. Ridge Street was just reopened about a few minutes ago. We've been able to see police letting cars go this way off my left shoulder. Again, Lisbon Street here in Lisbon Falls going towards Lisbon Center has been closed off.
Thank you for sharing that.
Officer off my right shoulder has been turning drivers
away. Not saying like thank you that happened, but thank you for sharing that. It takes a lot of bravery to put that out there. I don't think you're able to
hear it on my
microphone. Thank God you're alive.
But again, a chopper and helicopter has been circling the Androscoggin River, looking for something, whether it's that person of interest. We did get here with the plan of going to a boat
they're looking for fish.
Down
what the fuck do you think they're doing? Of course they're looking for the person of interest.
Half a mile, maybe
closer to a mile. The waterway. Maybe they're looking for the person of interest. Yeah, they are. Just call it what it is.
That way.
You think they're looking for a good fishing spot?
It's going to be really tough to see, but that chopper is heading over our left shoulder. And before we even got here, we drove from Portland up to Sabattis, just trying to find anything
looking for alligators, right,
related to this investigation.
I mean, what do you think they're looking for?
And we saw, as we got closer to
looking
Lewiston
for the guy.
Auburn,
you think?
It seemed like almost every mile or two, a cruiser pulled off the side of the road near an exit, near a turnaround, with the spotlight facing onto the roadway, trying to find any vehicle that matched any description of that person of interest. Now, a few minutes ago, or longer than that, it seems, when the public safety commissioner was addressing the people of Maine, he said that this area where we are in has just been ordered as a shelter in place. And it's well after midnight at this point. Lisbon Falls, not exactly that busy, but we have seen a slight decrease in activity. Brian and Lee, we'll check back in with you in a few minutes.
All right, Sam. Sam, thank you. We also want to go right now live to Jason Levesque, the mayor of Auburn, speaking with our crew there right now.
All right, here's the mayor.
There's panic. Of course, there's worry, understandable. But the people that were actually there tonight was what I didn't hear. It's shock. It's shock. It's hard for me to explain. And and I want them to be able to go home and hold their families and go to sleep and wake up and cope with it tomorrow.
By bus?
Second.
Who is it that's arriving by bus?
So what we did is we took the witnesses of the two locations. We actually brought them to a holding area so we can interview them, clear them, and then we wanted to bring them all over here so they can have what we call a reunification process with their loved ones, which is the proper way to do it. We wanted to make sure that evidence could be gathered and the proper protocol could be followed.
Can you talk to us about the different ages of the witnesses? Were there kids that witnessed this?
Yes. It's all ages. It was all ages. I just talked to some teenagers, and it was all ages.
And what can you say about the law enforcement officers working this very serious situation?
It's unbelievable. It's literally unbelievable. We have our entire force out here right now for the city of Auburn, plus Lewiston County, state. Everybody is here. That's one thing about Maine. If you're not from Maine, you won't understand it. But when someone's in need, everybody comes, and everybody has come to this. I've got Poland Volunteer Rescue in the back helping people in case they need it. I mean, this is an all hands on deck situation. So yeah, you can train for this. You can never be completely prepared. But I've been talking to a lot of our officers tonight, and that we all should be proud of them.
And that support from just beyond the region, beyond Maine, really.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten a lot of phone calls from around the country.
Oh, here's
from,
I'm gonna put this out there too. This is another goofy Chelsea Grim thing that people are coming up. Ready for this one? You ready for this one? Are you ready for this one? Chelsea Grim. Okay, another thing that I need to squash in all of this because these people are morons. Ready? Ready? Let me know if you're all ready. Let me know if you're all ready. Let me know in the chat. Are you ready? You ready for this one? Tell me. Are you ready? He's the mayor of Auburn, Maine. Ready? Here we go. Here's the newest one. Ready? I think she was abducted by the police officer in the cemetery, and he hid her somewhere. He abducted her and he put her somewhere. It was the police officer. What planet and what acid do these people take? What acid are you on? What mushrooms have you taken? Yeah, it was the police officer and he abducted her and put her somewhere. What acid are you on? What magic mushrooms did you fucking drink in your tea in the morning? Unbelievable. People will believe anything.
The reunification point has sometimes been a moment where a loved one comes to the tragic realization that their relative didn't make it.
Yes.
Have any of those interactions taken place here tonight?
Yes. I'll just leave it at that.
What's sort of the process of the hospital workers?
No, not me. They're just saying in general.
I haven't talked
in
with
my comments. I think the
emergency
police
staff.
officer
They're extremely busy, and we all need to respect
abducted
that.
her and put her
They are
somewhere.
working with known victims right now, whether it be casualties.
Oh
or
yeah, the
else.
pilot. I
And they're
saw
gonna work
that.
through that process with the appropriate guidance, mental health support networks that we have. We actually have trained professionals here from the state police as well as local churches that are trained in crisis response that are actually helping people through this.
How long can we expect the center to be open?
Until it's done. Anything else? Okay. No.
Thanks very much.
All right, that's the mayor of Auburn, Jason Levesque, standing by at the Reunification Center, which is at Auburn
Yeah,
Middle School.
easy. It's the
As
quiet
mayor
cops
talked
you have to
about, some of those reunifications, good.
Don't
Family
insult the
members
acid
not knowing where their loved
reunification.
ones were, getting to see them. And the mayor also
Why would
very
anybody
open
say
and honest
that?
about
I
the
think
fact
that
that not every one of those
the
situations
police
ended
officer on the
well,
body
and
cam, he
sometimes
was the
people
one.
went there hoping
He was the
for
one
good
that
news and they
abducted
didn't
her.
get it. So it's just a tragic situation that the mayor of Auburn was just speaking about.
We want to bring in Greg Marley from NAMI.
Oh, come on, Kelly.
NAMI
You're
Maine.
smarter
thank you,
than
first of all,
that.
for coming to our studio in the middle of the night. I'm sure you have been pretty plugged
Oh.
into everything that's been going on.
Not nearly enough, but I'm trying to catch up as everyone is. And
Oh. We have some movement on the chopper. Let's take a look at the chopper. Flight radar. Look at this. It has moved in this area here. It's now circling this perimeter. So we were up here. for quite a while. Now it looks like it's down in this neighborhood here. Could there be a capture soon? Could this be an area that's contained? Yes.
Get to the chopper!
I forgot I had that sound.
Had your kids, had your wife.
I forgot we had those.
Get to the chopper!
Oh, what's going on here? Where are we going?
Had your kids, had your wife.
Where is the chopper going? I'm gonna circle this area now. Oh, Ken, thank you. Appreciate you. $5 from Ken. Thank you. Thanks, Ken. Appreciate it. Yeah, looks like this perimeter now. See the perimeter they're circling in? Thanks for the 5. Look at this. Now they're down in this concentrated area. He said Biden's been briefed on the situation. The guy probably doesn't know what fucking planet he is on right now. Three hours. We just hit the 3-hour mark. 3 hours here on LTL. And you think we started at, what time did we start tonight? 8:30 tonight. So we've been streaming, what, almost 4.5 hours, 5 hours? Oh, flight radar. Flight is moving. Yeah. Biden's Googling where Maine is. Probably sleeping. You know that they don't wake him up until like 8 or 9 in the morning? That's unbelievable. 8 or 9 in the morning. There's like reports they don't get him up. Okay, let's break into here to news. Looks like they have a guest on. Let's see what this guy's saying. Former FBI agent.
So
I'm going to rewind it.
That's why you have so many people
theoretically know what to do, but when it happens, it's emotionally you're never ready.
We've been talking with former FBI agents, with law enforcement, to
Had
really
your
give you a
kids,
picture
had your
here,
wife.
in this late hour of what's happening and what may be happening regarding the search. Hundreds of law enforcement searching
committed
this
till 1
evening. We
a.m.
also were hearing from a former FBI agent, another FBI agent, after we talked to Rich Kolko earlier tonight.
I'm committed
This is
to 1
Brad
a.m.
Garrett,
Eastern
also
Standard.
sharing some insight on
205
what he
likes.
believes
Thank
may be
you so
happening and what happened. So let's take a moment to take a listen to that.
it looks like to me that he's got some sort of extended magazine. I mean, typically those weapons, you can maybe shoot up to 25 or 30 rounds with a standard magazine. So that's why you have so many people shot. I'm going to guess the number is probably really big as to the number of people injured. And you've got to find this guy quickly, because is he, as I mentioned earlier, going to go on to another location? But that's sadly, Juju, the weapon of choice with these mass shooters. They're easy to shoot. And if you're shooting in close order, you can really harm a lot of people.
That was Brad Garrett speaking with Juju Chang, who is the anchor of Nightline, talking about what he believes was the weapon.
Yeah, it's a good
and how
point,
many
Grandma.
people, in theory, could be hurt, injured, and how many people may have been shot.
We're seeing it here as described earlier tonight by the Androscoggin Sheriff. The photo here of an AR-15 style gun. We heard Brad Garrett, the former FBI agent, describing what that kind of gun is capable of.
Rogue, have a
And
good
at
night.
the end, he
Thank
said,
you.
you have to
Thanks
find
for
the
being
guy
here. Congratulations
quickly.
on your new
The
mod
other
status.
FBI agent we talked with this
I'm
evening,
gonna get some
retired
sleep. I'm
from
gonna
the
probably
FBI,
shut
Rich
this up
Kolko,
pretty
said
soon, too. I'm
just how
pretty tired.
unusual it is that the search has
We'll give it a
gone
little while
this
longer
long.
here.
Now more than 5 hours. We know that this all began before 7 o'clock. It's now about 12:30 in the morning here Thursday morning. And at last update from police, this is still an active manhunt. They are looking for a person of interest identified as Robert Card.
You have to kind of wonder whether or not it's his history of military service that makes him able to evade capture, if that is in fact what's happening here. He is a firearms instructor, so we do know that. So that is kind of dovetailing with what Brad Garrett was just mentioning about an extended magazine. He may have an extensive knowledge of ammunition and weapons if he is a weapons instructor.
And that is certainly why we would suspect ATF Boston is involved. Firearms agency, of course, of the federal government, telling us that the ATF Boston has launched a division-wide response. So that means that there are agents from all 6 New England states. They're involved in, quote, supporting our law enforcement partners. And so again, ATF also confirming what the sheriff said. They suspect that that is an AR-15 style rifle. ATF has an office in Boston, Portland as well, but calling in some backup, some support from the Boston office as well, really showing just the scope and scale of trying to leverage all of the resources of law enforcement at their disposal now here into Thursday morning.
I think what you're looking at on the screen are pictures from outside the reunification center where we just heard Auburn Mayor Jason Levesque talking about kind of what goes on inside and what isn't happening. And what isn't happening, he says, is a whole lot of talking and reaction. I think he was referring to or alluding to a lot of people being in shock. He is expressing his solidarity with Lewiston at this moment, saying that we are one community and we will heal together.
Paula, thank you for
but
the
you know
one gift.
that part of that piece of the puzzle is
By the way,
just
I
beginning.
dropped the
It
link.
feels so far off, even talking
Tomorrow?
about being able to heal as.
Tomorrow, I will be streaming Brian Koberger's hearing. I'm going to start at like 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully you can join. If you can't, you can always go back and watch on the replay. We won't get the live video most likely right away. I will check in with JLR and see what he's got going on in his feed. Obviously, as a media request, so he'll be out there. I'll also just be taking to Twitter to watch some live tweets in the feed. So I'll be here tomorrow at 3:30. The hearing is at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 1 p.m. Pacific Time. So I'll be covering that, and then we'll wait, and probably most likely around 7 or 8 p.m. the live video should be out. So we'll come back and watch the live video of the hearing later on that night. So I'll be doing a lot of streaming tomorrow. And I may do something in the morning. I have a lot going on, so I don't know. But I will be here tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we'll do a night show. We'll watch the live feed.
Finding him quickly is
Chopper
top of
is
mind,
heading
is
back
top priority. Saving
off.
lives is
Let's look at the chopper. Let's look at the chopper.
Get to the chopper!
Aha. Looks like it's going back to its original area. What happened here? I lost the feed. There we go. Looks like it's coming back to that area. Look. Back in that area. Yeah, no problem, Paula. I actually specifically took the day off for tomorrow so I could do the stream because it's important. We need to know. We need to know.
Get to the chopper!
Yeah, probably 3 and 8 tomorrow, most likely, or right when that video comes out. I'll get a tile up for the night show tomorrow morning. Yeah, just flying around. No cameras in the courtroom, but they can stream outside the courtroom and they can report. They can report afterwards. JLR will probably be tweeting inside, so I'll probably use his feed tomorrow. Yes, I want to be with the LTL family. I want to be here all the time if I could. Just going to take a lot more. I need to at least double what I'm making monthly right now to be able to do this as my full-time job. Yeah, so they're kind of covering around in these areas here. Oh, wow. Multiple choppers in the area. Is that right? No. It looked like it had multiple choppers. I'm like, whoa. Or is there? No, there's just one. I thought that was multiple choppers for a second. I was like, what the hell, man? Thank you, Danielle. I appreciate it. All right, let's go back up to the... Oh, we got some activity here. Let's go to the feed. I know it's getting late. I appreciate y'all being here. It's really late. I appreciate it. Let's see what this has to say.
That's important that, tell people if they are just kind of walking in the area looking for places to stay away from places like that unless they need to go in. And even the 7-Eleven right now is on lockdown as well. There's a few people right behind the camera right now that's trying to look to get food or something, or maybe even just shelter, because there is the shelter in place where they can't get in because that 7-Eleven is on lockdown, as is the hospital.
As our businesses, that is what they have been told to do there in Androscoggin County, to shelter in place. Businesses
over
as
that
close.
section
Miles,
of that
a bit of a delay, but thank you so much for your reporting there tonight from outside Central Maine Medical Center, where they had told us earlier tonight they are dealing with this mass casualty. Many of the patients from this mass shooter event have ended up at Central Maine Medical Center as their medical professionals responded after hours, beefing up staff in order to take care of the large number of patients going to the hospital tonight.
And what you're looking at here is some drone video of above 196 in Lisbon there, where Connor was set up, and we were sort of tracking the helicopter that was as part of this search, but had walked away or gone away and then has come back. So Connor covering that part of the story.
And as you found in your reporting from here on the set, they were linking that search to the situation of those shootings that happened in Lewiston.
Oh, by the way,
back in the area, we understand.
If y'all are interested in my Chelsea Grim coverage, I have on my homepage, you can go there and you can just look under Chelsea Grim disappearance. That has all of my feeds, all my shows talking about Chelsea. And I have committed to her friends that I will continue to do streams on her case until Chelsea comes home, till we find Chelsea. Glamour, thank you so much for the 50. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, we're going to hang in. We'll go 20 more minutes, and I think I'm going to wrap this one up.
Sheltered in place. They were fearful.
Tomorrow, what I'll do is if there's any update in the morning when I get up, I'll make sure that I do an update in the morning. Hopefully we wake up in the morning and this guy is caught. If not, we'll come back and we'll continue to follow this story.
if he's coming to this business, he could go anywhere around here. So those
Thank you,
workers,
Grandma. Thank
they
you for
went
the
to a
support.
back room, shut off the lights, locked the doors, and kind of pretended like the business was shut down. That was a fast food restaurant. Same situation with the gas station. And we were recounting it earlier, but a worker there just pretty terrified when a law enforcement officer comes in with a long gun and is searching around that gas station because they had no idea where that suspect was.
I love how the
And unfortunately, even at this hour, that search
long gun.
continues. So we
Call it
know that
rifle.
about
We know what it
15
is.
minutes
AR.
east of us
We know
here,
it's a
where
fucking
that
AR.
car was
I'll do
found,
the
obviously
AR.
that's where it's centered. You might be able to tell it's a little calmer here, at least right in this area. But of course, that
Where's this
grim
guy?
investigation now
Where do you
begins
think he's
behind us.
hiding now?
Something else we were thinking about as we
Where
were
did he
coming up
go?
here from Boston, a tragedy like this would really overwhelm the Boston medical system. Obviously, we dealt with the horror of the marathon bombings, but that really did tax the system. Boston
wow. You need
really
some
pulled
sleep.
through then. But you think of a city like Lewiston, of
Grandma,
course,
you
there's a
need some
hospital down the
sleep.
road, but to deal with the enormity of a tragedy like this, obviously all the fatalities and then all of the injuries. So just a huge tax on the system here. And as we were coming up from Massachusetts, we saw law enforcement passing us on the highway. Really amazing how everyone has pulled together to help the state of Maine, to help Lewiston pull through this just terrible, terrible tragedy.
Interesting insight
Right, Carrie. I
about the
know you're
tax
off
on
work.
on
I
the
mean,
hospital
fucking
system
dead.
here
You should
in
be at work
relation
in the
to
morning. Thank
how
you.
the marathon was in Boston. Really,
We're gonna head
really
out of here in
interesting,
about
eye-opening
20.
information.
John Atwater up here from our sister station, WCVB in Boston. And John, it looks like you're in a safe place there, not a whole lot of activity. But are there areas around you where there are still active scenes or police still investigating there inside that bowling alley, that recreation center?
Well, that's a good question, because as we were coming here,
Yeah,
the
Decatur, they had
concern
video of them.
is there is a gunman on the loose who obviously has the capacity
We're
to
not too
harm
sure if
people.
they had eyes on
So
him after.
we
That's
feel pretty
the
comfortable here.
problem.
We have some officers
I think they
behind us here
had an
with their
idea.
weapons out, but maybe feeling a little more comfortable because the activity seems to have shifted a bit east of us here. But what you're not seeing is what is going on just behind us here, and all of the activity going on inside that bowling alley and also inside that bar, which is maybe about 10 minutes away from us here. So that part of the investigation, of course, we're not going to see it. And that is just such an impact on these officers, because tragedies like this obviously shouldn't happen anywhere in the country. But
by the way,
in a town like this, it's
I know you have been, some of the people in here are interested about Anthony Farah. So he has made a post on his Instagram. The Timepiece Gentleman has made a post that he will be coming back to YouTube on December 1st. He has been actively uploading on his Instagram. I have been following it. I'm probably going to do a show about it soon to talk about it. And he is back. 12/1. He is back. I don't know why this guy is not in cuffs or arrested. I don't get it. I know that it takes time. It takes time for things to happen. So we'll see what happens. But apparently this fucking guy is coming back. It's unbelievable. All right,
John is stationed. We're bused to a
minutes.
reunification center to meet back up with their families and their loved ones, and in a moment where many were relieved to find them.
It's looking like this guy is a registered SO caught with CP. Can't confirm it yet. Registry is not responding. Interesting. Yeah, that's pretty sick, man.
That unification center. And Terry, tell us a little bit about what Mayor Levesque was saying and sort of the scene that's behind you.
Word is he's starting the FBI podcast channel.
Megan, good morning to you now. Auburn Mayor Jason Levesque distraught, just like so many other people are here in this Lewiston, Auburn community and beyond. We did get a little bit more insight from him in terms of what witnesses were doing in the hours since those shootings took place. As we understand it, the witnesses, the ones who were not injured or killed, they were taken to a secure location. He wasn't able to tell us where that was, but those witnesses were then either
Let's see. Let's look at the flight radar. Still in that area. Still looking in that area. They're really feeling that it's in that area.
Get to the chopper!
Yeah, that's a great point, Paula. If he's registered, who is monitoring him? This one's low, 750 feet right now. State police. Very low. Yeah, S.J. Howard. Every time I see a white car, I think of an Elantra. Right. 800 feet. Very close to the ground. I wonder if they have a spotlight out. I'm sure it does. $800 feet. And there it is. $750 feet. All right, let's do this. They have infrared, yeah.
Out of this center. I just chatted with Lind, who came here looking for her husband, and she just walked out and found him. So some good news here tonight in Auburn. I just want to make sure, going through my notes, making sure I'm not missing anything that we can share with you. Obviously, we've been talking about how this center, or this middle school, is a reunification center. This is the place to come if you are looking for a loved one, if you have questions, if you have concerns. This is the place to be. And it is safe. We see many police officers here. They're walking with folks to and from the building. They're checking cars as they come in. So a very safe place to be. But we will keep an eye out here as folks continue to get help. We have mentioned counselors are here too for folks to speak with. Lee and Brian, I'll toss things back to you.
All right, Alex, thank you. And I just, I can't imagine what Alex is seeing. Yeah, right. Like that's hard, obviously, for the people who are going there to get their questions answered, for the people who have to answer those questions, right. And then to watch that and to see either the elation of the reunification or maybe the not. And it's just brutal.
Yeah, and I think we saw it on the mayor's face. We heard from Mayor Levesque a few minutes ago and was asked, are both sides of that conversation happening for people who are showing up? And I think you saw it all over his face of how brutal and painful it is to see those horrible conversations unfolding of people who showed up there hoping to find their loved one and getting horrible news tonight.
Yeah, the news is bad all the way around. We're not going anywhere, so we're here around the clock, and we're going to get this thing hopefully resolved sooner than later for everybody's sake, and just to give a little peace of mind that the person of interest that they're looking for, at least right now, Robert Card, does get found. Just to look at him one more time. Again, you really shouldn't be out and about, but if you do happen to, be someplace where you see somebody who resembles that,
okay,
so certainly contact your local authorities wherever you might be.
This is what we're going to do. I think we're going to wrap this one up. I don't think we're going to. Bella, you didn't miss much. They literally just came in and said, this is the person that we're looking for, and there's not much more we can say. That's it. Okay, I think we're gonna wrap this one up. I don't think that Robert. I don't think. Now I've lost control. Totally forgot his name. That's how tired I am. I don't think Robert Card is going to be found anytime soon. Jeff's going to email me something. All right, I'll wait for Jeff's email and then we're gonna head to bed because it's getting late. Robert Card, thank you. I'm tired now. Yeah, it's delirium. Almost 5 hours of streaming. You can see my eyes. I'm pretty tired. So someone just said to me at 12:34 a.m. there is a person who went live to state he knows the shooter. My IT guy downloaded it. Okay. What's this? Jeff, your link didn't work. But I'm going to wrap this up. I'm tired. Long streams tomorrow. We'll be doing Brian Koberger tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the 4 p.m. or no, I'm sorry, the 1 p.m. Pacific Time court hearing. Trying to get all this straight. We talked Chelsea Grimm. Don't believe the bullshit. Don't believe the lies. If you need any information or any questions asking about Chelsea, email me. I will run it by her friends and I will get things straightened out for you. Long stream. Thank you all for being here. Get some sleep. We got a lot of streams to do tomorrow. I will report back on this tomorrow. Hopefully this scumbag is caught in any way possible, in custody, whatever. You know what I mean? But we'll keep following this. Thank you all for being here. Real quick, just want to recognize all of this. Lots of great things happened tonight. Bernadette, new member, thank you. Crazy Grandma, 3-month member, says, I remember you told me to never apologize for your passion. Yes, I understand. Jocelyn, new member, thank you for being here. Allison with a $4.99 says, go Brian, thank you. Rosemary, new member. Carrie with a 5. Carrie with another 5. Paula with a 1, thank you. I gifted out 5. Kent with a 5. Paula with a 1. And then the super duper duper chat of tonight was from Glamour. Says, thank you for your coverage. Well, thank you for being here. Glad that you're part of the LTL family. We will continue to grow and keep to do this. Yes. And that's the perfect way to end this stream. Glamour says, yes, all prayers to Lewiston, Maine. Absolutely. I want to thank all of my new subscribers that have come over, all the new members, all of the people that have been feeding the information all night. You all did a fantastic job. So a round of applause to all of you, all my moderators, all my new moderators. Thank you so much. I will be back tomorrow night. Please all get some sleep. Remember, I will continue to report on this. We will figure it out and hopefully this animal gets caught tomorrow. Everybody be safe. If you are in the Lewiston, Maine area, please be safe. And I will see everybody tomorrow. And everyone have a great night. Thank you. Bye.